Hello. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me?
How are you?
Good, and you? All right. Feeling good with all this nasty air? Able to breathe, I hope. Anyway.
This meeting is being recorded.
It would seem someone has a second device. I don't see anyone yet with second device. Oh yeah, Vera, you have two devices. So check on the sound. Turn the sound off on one of them. All right. How's it going? Let's bring everyone in. I've been dying to open the windows and let some fresh air in the house. I don't know about you guys, but then I'm wheezing because I have asthma, so blah. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing better. Let me see. So there we go. Okay, so hi everyone. Hi Katie. Nice to see you. Has anyone been over to see you in your Zoom hours? Can't hear you.
No.
No, I haven't seen anyone
I
today.
was wondering if I can directly email Katie.
No, I only work during the posted hours.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it has to be a Zoom interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
free tutors work during their hours. They have Zoom open,
Okay.
and they're available for anyone to drop in.
Okay.
Other than that, you can email me or you can write questions in the ask me. But yeah, they don't take. And in other courses, they do look at the ask me here questions, but in this course, they're not. I should talk to PAs to see if they could do that. But in my course, I'm the only one answering. So here we go. Okay, so thank you, Vera. See how she just signed into the chat? Everyone go to the chat and sign in, please. All right. And turn on your participants buttons in case I'm going to ask you questions to the general group. So how did the exam go? Did you all take the exam yet?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone here took it? Okay. Not everyone took it yet, which worries me given that it's due tonight, but the majority of you guys have taken it, so that's good. Thing is that exam, as long as you did the trainings, did it turn out to be pretty similar for you? Did you find that it was basically the training in a
Yes, it was.
modified way? Yeah. So now you trust me when I say do the trainings to do well, right? And then now, as of next week, we're going to start doing assignments where you truly have to put yourself into making it happen for real. But for Windows, we use the training, and for computer concepts exam, we also use a training. But this training is different. Has anyone run through the computer concepts trainings yet?
I
Yeah.
have. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite different, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm torn about this exam. We had changed it, and then it got changed again by our department chair, and I'm not sure I like the computer concepts exam as much. But anyway, we're gonna give it a try, and if it turns out to be truly not that wonderful of an exam, I would consider giving everyone a second try at it at the end of the session. Usually they give a second try at the Windows exam, but I don't really see why on that one. I do see why on this computer concepts one, because it takes a lot more studying. So anyway, for those of you who've been at it, it's open as of today and you have a week. Any questions before I have a PowerPoint where I want to show you the steps, some steps which again are based on the things that are due next week and what you need to do. But any questions about the format, the submitting of assignments, the way Sam works, anything like that that you might want to know? Nothing yet?
Nope,
No, not
nothing.
really.
Okay. I'm going to ask a bit later when everyone's here, but one more time, how many of you guys have used Word? And you can use the yes and no's, or you can do like, you know, a little hand thing of you. How many of you guys have used Word, you know, comfortably? Like you're really comfortable with that program. You got it. You totally get Word. Anyone here? No, one or two. Okay, a couple hands, a couple yeses. All right. The assignment that we need to do isn't necessary. If you've already done Word, today I'm going to be running you through what we need to do for the computer concepts exam, and once again how to submit, and this time view the reports, make corrections, and resubmit. So that's the first part of the lecture, and then after that I'm going to actually lecture on Word. So at that point, if you're like, I got it, I do Word, I'm fine with Word, you're welcome to not be part of that part of the lecture. That said, I'm going to show you first the list of what the first assignment is going to cover, and then you can see, oh, you know, I know that, but I can tell I don't know this. There's a couple things that are kind of crucial that I want to go over, that if I explain it to you and you sit through the explanation, it'll be much easier for you when you get to do the assignment. You'll understand the why, okay? I'm pretty sure a lot of people have used Word forever. I had used Word forever, and then I had never had any reason to use themes, or so I thought. And then I discovered that themes is a big part, and is a big part of the first assignment, and to understand what a theme is inside of the context or word styles and things like that really makes formatting much easier. So if you just used it kind of like, yeah, I write things and I send things in, versus, yeah, I'm comfortable styling, formatting, understanding the hidden characters and all of that, then don't stay for the lecture. But if those things I just mentioned sound like, I could do some reviewing with that, then you might want to stay for that part of the lecture, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I didn't join us from this side, did I? But give me a sec while I join us from my other computer. Meanwhile, anything about anything you guys want to say? Live? Nope.
There was only one thing on the exam, because I took extensive notes in the practice exam, and there was only one thing on the exam where I took the exam twice. I couldn't figure it out.
And what was that? Because, yeah, there's a couple of questions that are not as clear. Do you remember?
I think it was the, and I hope I'm not, can I say it? It was moving the personalization window to the right side of the screen.
I have the same issue, Jeremy, too.
Katie has something to say about that.
I'm like, I'm raising my hand like that can unmute me. So this is a weird thing that it's a kind of a glitch that the testing setup has, where if you have it this window completely open, it shows it, so it's the window is like the full screen and you can't move it left or right.
It's hard to hear you, Katie, at least for me. Is it hard to hear for you guys too? Move in closer to the, you were fine before and then your voice
Okay.
kind of dropped.
Yeah, okay. Better now? Maybe not, kind of, no. Okay.
Okay, when you approach with your body, the computer, it got better, so maybe speak in like that. Yeah.
Does this work better? That would be really funny if it does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. The closer to the screen I am.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you were saying, explain again the whole window
Okay.
ratio, because that's an important concept.
Yeah, so when you have the window open, sometimes you don't, the Explorer window that it's telling you to minimize or move left or right looks like it's full screen, just completely taking over the full screen. what to do with that is for you take the window or the test screen or the test window and you make it bigger or smaller. So you maximize it or you minimize it and then put it back out and it resets the internal setup inside the practice
It's a pity because
test.
when people are taking the exam in person,
Mhm.
that's a stumbler, and we tend to explain that one right before the test starts so people are aware of it. This whole new system where you guys have a week to take it didn't give us the opportunity to, before you take it, explain it because, you know, everyone's
Oh,
taking
fair.
it whenever. But it's not a bad idea to actually
Mhm.
record a little explanation about that one for next time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that's a stumbling block every time. So Katie, can you take note of that and remind me, send me
Mhm.
something? I'll do a little mini video of that one. It's not like I want to give away the assignment because then you still have to do the assignment,
Yeah.
like the test, but it's just how to set the window for them to you be able to do it. Because otherwise, depending on how you've been coming and how big your window is, automatically 10% of the people have problems and 90% don't. But those 10%, it's not that they don't know the answer, it's just that the window settings need to be changed. So anyway, thanks for reminding us about that one, Jeremy. I'm happy to, if you feel like that's the only one you got wrong and you text me, I'm happy to change the grade on that one. Because it is a tricky one that isn't whether you knew or not what you were doing, rather is the Windows setting in your system compatible with, is it ready to answer that question or not? So anyway, email me if you want that question and the grade change based on that one, and I'm happy to comply. Okay. All right. So see, that's the advantage of attending these sessions. You guys get this kind of stuff. People who won't know that. All right. All right. Now, any other comment, question, thing like that? Thanks for speaking up, Jeremy. You guys, I'm here to help. Katie and I are here to make this class smooth and workable for you guys. Okay.
I have just a note. In order to replay the video, like say you're taking the test in SAM, you can't use the bottom scroll bar to move it right or left. It'll play to the end, and then you have to go to task, click the one that you want to rewatch, and then click the start button.
Not the test. You mean the training?
Both of them.
Well, the test doesn't have a video.
Oh, that's right. You just
Okay.
ask questions. I mean, when you're doing the training and the practice exam.
Yeah, and it bugs me. It used to be that you could go back to it. Now you not only can't go back to it, you can't jump even to the question. You have to
Exactly.
sit through the whole
Practice
video
again, yeah.
to then try the question. It drives me bonkers, and this has never been this way.
Ditto.
First time. This
It's been so
is a
annoying.
new
No, this
setup of
happened
the
with
exam.
CIS.
I was sitting there going, "Am I doing something wrong? Why can't I move forward? Why
No,
can't
this
I make him
happened in-
speak fast?"
This happened in CIS
I
101.
have extended my complaints to Cengage about the format. Nothing I can do about it though. And you have to sit through 33 of them in the training. But all I can say is I am so sorry. It bugs me too. I don't know why they changed that. It doesn't make any sense because if you know that answer, you want to move on but you got to test yourself, but you can't test yourself until you saw it through the video and you can't advance it. So what if you missed a word? So I'm going to show you a little trick, because what if you just didn't hear something right and you just want to see that little bit again?
Exactly.
So I'm going to show you a trick, which is going to the transcripts. Okay. So I'm going to do that now. Where's Canvas? I'm trying to open a version over here. I had it open to show that to you. Oh, but because I'm doing it through Zoom, I have to sign in again. I had it right here. Let me see. Launch player again. Yeah, so I'm going to show you that because it bugged me tremendously as well. And you know what? I'm going to need a pop out, so I can't do just the window. I'm going to have to actually do the entire desktop. So hold on. Okay, so now I can share. I'm going to share a different window because then you can actually see the pop-up. Okay, so are you guys seeing this training? Yeah, so I'm on task 1. I have to press play and start.
Communications hardware allows your computer to
Yada,
connect
yada. It starts talking. But see how, this is what Bear is talking about. There's no way to advance. It's inconceivable to me to move it forward, to say, I just want to go to this part, or I want to repeat this piece. I don't see why. You need repetition of the hard part, right? Anyway, don't get me on my soapbox. I'm pretty upset at Cengage this year. Everything has been happening. But here's the plan B. See this little T over here? Click on that, and this is a transcript opens up. And if you open it up, this is exactly what the narrator is saying. So then you can go, God, I wanted to hear again just the router part. I don't want the rest. I just want the router part. So at least you can read it. And I'm a very visual person. Reading helps me, but and not everyone is. But at least this is a plan B, because if all I wanted was to hear that piece again, say that this is, I'm gonna press play again and let me bring the sound down so it's playing, right? So she's talking. And then I kind of missed the first part. Well, this is exactly what she's saying, exactly, right? So I can stop it and go, what was the network interface card? Oh, it allows the machine to interface. Okay, so why was that again? Let me read it again, you know, so kind of pick it up from the transcript. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
That's my plan B on this, other than complaining and sending nasty letters, which, trust me, I have done. And you're welcome to do it too, because they want to hear from students. They want students happy with their product, okay? And then when it's over and you've sat through the entire, and they're not long, but when you kind of want to move past it, it does feel long. So I'm going to let it run through. When it gets to the end, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, tra-la. See, I can't move it forward. So if you haven't done this yet, this is the training for the computer concepts exam. And it bugs me too, because this one is, I'm not gonna say harder, but it is, because the concepts, it's not a hands-on thing you can do. You just need to listen and understand, right? So it would be the most important one to have it go again and again and again. Anyway, this is my plan B, okay? So remember, the transcripts. So click on the T. And you can also turn on the closed captions if it helps you to read. But that, I don't know how comfortable it is to have the text over there. I prefer to have it there. So when it's over, then it allows you to take that test question. And so if you just want to replay it, you have to go through the whole video again to come here. So say that you do it wrong or right. I don't even know what I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer A and save answer. If it's incorrect, they let me retry. Okay, so say I go for B and I save answer, and if it's still incorrect, let me retry. But say that I got it right and I go to next, then it shows up as, well, I actually didn't get it right. I kept saying no and I said next. So now it shows up as wrong because I never got the right answer. So then I have to go back, but the only way to go back to it is to sit through the whole thing again. I can't just test C and D, right? So anyway, my point is, don't move off of it until you get the right answer. And then what you can do, you can select all this text and you can copy and paste it and put it in a document to answer question 1, right? Put it in Word, which you will now learn how to use, or somewhere. Copy this text and say question 1, and put that, and then maybe you can highlight the you know, in Word you can highlight the portion that's the answer to the question that allows you to answer A, B, C, or D. You know, see, to me it's not like, that isn't cheating. To me that is studying. If you highlight what the right answer is and you put it in a document, and then during the exam you consult this question, the fact that you are doing that, to me, is work that you're doing to study and the point that you're making that reminds you what the answer is. And I think that that's what learning and studying is, right? So for the questions that you have that are hard, you know, question 15, I just can't remember this one. Well, wouldn't you for real life have taken notes, underlined, put some highlighter on stuff? So in this case, that would be that. Take the sentence that's that finally gives you that thing that you cannot seem to remember. Open up a word, put it down, highlight it, say, you know, and the questions in the exam aren't identical, again, just like you saw before, but based on everything this person says, there's going to be a question about it for that point. So all 33 tasks have a question regarding that task. So you have to take in everything that this person says, and there's going to be a question, right, wrong, answer, false, yes, based on basically this. So if you can't remember, the answer isn't going to be exactly the same answer of the one they tested you here, but it'll be within the context of this information. Does that make sense? Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to now, actually, I'm not going to change my share screen. I'm going to pop this in there. And hi, I'm still Deanna, I haven't changed. But hold on, I'm actually over here trying to change my other screen. All right, so a couple people have had issues, and I just wanted to put it here for later. Tech support is in particular in my other class, but some people are having issues with the Chromebooks and hotspots that they've been getting from school. So if any of you guys happens to be in that situation, this is the link to get to the Santa Barbara City College Student Tech Support. And if you have equipment that isn't working, go ahead and click on this link to get help from them. This is not for your assignments. This isn't, you know, I've given that link many times. You can find it in modules. This is just for Wi-Fi, tech support, stuff like that, okay? So Sam's grace period has ended, and if you have not purchased the access code, you won't be able to take your exams, plus you'll lose all your progress made and stuff like that. So, and for those of you who only bought the code and did not buy the book, remember I've said you had to contact me. So I've tried to reach out to everyone regarding that, but if any of you guys are still in that situation, please reach out to me through email, okay? Has anyone not yet purchased the access code? Any of you guys? Nope, you're all fine, okay. Once again, it's more happening in my other course that I still had a couple people who hadn't gotten it. Okay, so the Windows actually, and not the Office 2016, the Windows 10 exam is due tonight, and next week, the Computer Concepts exam. So if you have not done the 10 yet, everyone here has done it, so I'm gonna skip through that. Those are the trainings, but you all said you did it. So then here's the biggie. Review for the Computer Concepts exam in week 3. So in this whole last week, you should have been studying for it. And that's where I have the links, okay? So over here, I put the Computer Concepts training exam and the practice exam. So here's the thing. I did not do the practice exam, and I opened up the actual exam to do it. And, to see with all the knowledge I have, which is not to, you know, but it's pretty vast. I know a lot about all of this. So I decided, because I was quite upset at the exam, to test myself. And I did not run through the practice exam. So here's what happened. Yikes. Okay. I was like, what? Like again and again and again. So first of all, the first 3 I did skip because I was dealing with trying to do screen captures and stuff like that. And so 3 times, those first 3, they just skipped through. So I'll say that I really got 3 more of these, like, 26 right, not 23. Because those 3 I messed up while I was trying to, but since it's an exam, it's one answer only, not like the other exam. You say yes or no, and boom. So I was trying to get an answer of no and an answer of yes to do different screen captures. So the first 3 don't count. So truly, I got 26 out of 33. But this is someone who knows the answers. So based on that, it's, so I didn't want to go to that. I want to say it's crucial that you really practice those questions, because the logical answer, and again, another reason I'm upset, I know I answered the right thing at one point, but it maybe wasn't what was in the video. Like, it was right to say this, but maybe in the video they had added something else, and in the A, B, C, or D, probably it was A, B, and C, and I only said A and B. So basically, listen to those videos, really pay attention and take notes, because the questions aren't necessarily, I mean, some of them are very easy and obvious. They have to give you all kinds of levels, but some of them really make you think. And a couple of them I got to me because I know that what I answered is right, and yet they probably wanted an extra of the A, B, and C's beyond the one I had answered. So pay attention. This is full disclosure, not good. Not a good initial. Now, I haven't listened to any of the videos or anything, so this is just based on what I know. But guys, I do this as a job. So don't trust that you know this. Do the videos and be clear on the answers and the kind of questions they're asking, okay? It's gonna be worth 50 points again. Again, open notes and books. And in fact, as I was saying, copy down the transcripts, highlight your answers, like really understand the material. There's no time limit, but once you start it, if it glitches or if it cancels, then that's it. Those are your answers. Now, if it glitches and it cancels and you reach out to me, okay, we'll talk about that. I can tell, like if it stopped at question 15 and that's it, then that's pretty clear. But if you went, through all the questions and then you're telling me, well, it didn't work, and there's like 3 that are wrong, well, then to me in the background, I can tell that's not so. But if suddenly it's over at question 15 and you still have 33, there is a possibility of resetting it. You need to contact me immediately. Now, I have not been successful at resetting an assignment the other day. I couldn't, even with Cengage's support. So hopefully this doesn't happen. Because I don't know why the assignment would not reset and they couldn't make it reset. So I'm not sure when I'm telling you I could reset it in the past for technical issues. And so when you're in class in person and I see the problem, I can reset it, but it's harder online because if you're having a problem at, 10 minutes before the exam is due, I'm not going to reset it. Basically, you get 0 points for that exam. So don't wait until last minute. Okay, don't forget to use Chrome or Firefox. Check your system. 33 questions, multiple choice, yes, no, or true or false, and only 1 chance. There's no 3 chances, no 3 clicks, okay? When you click, you move on to the next one. So you have a question, if you say true or false, you need to save answer, and this is so important. Do not ever click submit. Submit means I'm done with the exam. Okay, so do not submit. It's save answer. You say yes, no, save answer. Yes, no, fins. You never hit that, and I don't even know why they make it available. Other than if you've gone through all your questions and you don't know, I guess at some point you say submit, but why would you do that? Why wouldn't you at least guess? I mean, there's a chance you'll get it right. So I'm not saying you should guess, but I don't see why you should ever submit. If you skipped because you didn't know an answer, so you skipped 3 of them, so you can click on this little guy and go and say, well, I want to go and move on to question 12 because I don't know question 11. Don't answer it. Move on to 11, 12, 13, then skip 14, and then go back to them. And if you really don't know the answer, choose something and save answer. So basically, when there are no more questions to be answered, it self-submits. So you never really have to touch a submit. Am I clear? Don't touch that. Because if you touch that, you are closing your exam, you're canceling it, and I won't just reset it because you hit submit, okay? So just don't. Any questions? All right, so A, B, C, or D, there's E's and F's and other questions, and then there's many at the same time and all of that. But basically, there's only one attempt at each one. Okay. When you got it wrong, it just says X, and you can't, in an exam, you cannot go and take that one again. That just means you got it wrong. So you move on to the next one. Okay, don't try and click on it again. You just, in an exam, there's no testing it again. You're gonna see a score, but that score is based on 100%. So 100% means 50 points. It doesn't mean 100 points. All right, same, you already experienced that in the Windows exam. So if you got 10 questions, well, and we used to have test 10 questions, so this thing's there. So you will basically be told to submit it when you've completed all the tasks. Then you say okay, and then you'll get a total. All right, so 100% would be 50 points. And then for those of you who really want to know, this is the equivalency. If out of 100% you got, 50% right, then that's 25 points. Okay. This is the example of that I was telling you that I was taking screenshots, which is why I was running through these on purpose to get them wrong. But I wanted to show you the tasks. If you haven't opened yet the computer concepts training, these are the tasks. And once you've run through them, they kind of go gray. Yes, you did it right. No, you did it wrong. And then these are not done yet. So remember, you can skip. If you don't really know this answer, don't answer it. Go back to that. Go back here, click on that little lines, pull up the next and click on the following question, okay? Then jump that one if you don't know it. And then at the end, you can sit back and go and look at it, okay? Any questions about that? How that works? No, just use those little lines to jump them. Otherwise, with a single click, you got it wrong. So give yourself time to do some
I
research.
did have a question.
Say that again.
I had a question. I tried the practice exam on this, and I just failed miserably. How much of this is the textbook and how much of this is the videos?
This is not in the textbook. This exam.
Okay, so it's just the videos.
The training. It's only the training and nothing else. I mean, you can do some research if you're trying to find out more about, random access memory, which is kind of so funny that that's the name of the question. And then they ask you, that question is, what does RAM stand for? And actually the question gives it to you. So some of them are so stupid and others are so complicated. But anyway.
Yeah, I got that one right.
That one right. but what I'm saying is you might want to look up some more. If the explanation in the tutorial isn't enough for you, like sometimes they're very clear and sometimes I'm like, hey, what was that NCI thing for? Then just Google it, look it up, read some more. But the books do not have this information. Okay? So actually there used to be a version of the book that had it, but the new books just are Office. They do not do this portion of it.
It's still in the online textbook for the class.
Oh, that's true, actually. Thank you for saying that. In the, thanks for pointing that out. Let me tell you that if you do click on, let me actually open up. Do I have it open already? No, this is the training. Okay, so if you are in the course, right? Let me go to all my different courses over here. So if you actually go to the readings for this course, so if you go down to this is week, so here's where you can read the book in week 2. I have the link also in week 4. No, I don't. I should put the link. So here's in week 2, I have the link to go read. Remember for Windows 10, when you click on it, I'm going to put that same link in the bottom of this one. So here it has a bunch of stuff, including stuff we don't cover, like Outlook and Publisher. And so if you go to Technology for Success, it does talk about a lot of technology questions, okay? So that would be the computer concepts. But it's not in the printed book, because I know, Jeremy, that you don't have the book yet. We're working on that, but you're not missing anything. The book starts page 1 with the project that we're starting on this week. They used to have it in the book. I guess they're just getting cheaper on what they print. I don't know. Okay, so you can read it here, and you know, you can then, so if you go to computer hardware, it starts talking about different stuff in here that you can look into. All right, so
It'll also read it to you. You know, you can have it read to you.
can you say that again?
You can have
I
it.
have the
You can
fan
have
on.
it read to you.
It has what?
You can have it read to you.
You can have it read to you?
Mhm.
Yes, that's true. You can have this little voids thing there, and you can have it read to you by a male, by a female. I like the Australian. In fact, people laugh at me because my Siri, my iPhone has Siri, and it speaks to me in a British accent, and a very high level British accent. I think it's kind of funny. Anyway, whatever. But thanks for pointing that out, Vera. You can have it read to you. Yes.
I have the name too, Deanna. It's Cecile.
Yeah.
I like the accents.
And I didn't choose it originally. My son was playing around with my phone a couple years ago. And when I picked it up, it suddenly spoke to me in British. And I'm like, hey. And he told me what it had done. And I ever since I thought, I think it's so, wait a minute. Wait. So, all right. So let me go back. Are you seeing this again? Okay, so I just wanted to show you that you can skip. These are the concepts. Again, for people who haven't, who think they know a lot. Some people take this class and they just need to learn Access, for example, but they think they're really good at computers. And I'm telling you, I know all of this, and yet I had to, you know, I didn't get them all right, because like, evaluate or buy a computer device or use it. So you have points of view of, and I know what I tell people when they need to buy a device. But when I went and clicked on the 3 things I think you need to pay attention to, it told me no. So I need to go back and listen to what they think are the 3 things. And maybe they have a point that I need to learn, or maybe I don't agree with, but you don't have the possibility of not agreeing, because this is your exam. So you have to study what they tell you. Okay. All right. And the next thing that we have to do that, so that's that for the exam. Any other exam questions before I continue? Any other questions about the exam? Nope. Practice, that's my other thing. Practice that one, because the clicks go really quick. Okay, so get those 5 exam, plus those 5 questions aren't very different from questions that you will really have. So at least you'll have 5 in the bag if you practice this one as many times as you need. Okay, so do that. Do the training and go back and repeat the ones that you're not clear on, take notes, and then do the practice exam, and you should be fine. But for this one, you need to study, you really do. So don't just try to wing it, okay? All right. So the next thing you need to do for next week is finally our first word assignment. So it's due next week, again, right before midnight, and it's the Module 1 textbook project. And I don't know if you see back here, let me bring it in. I have it in both forms. I can't believe I have 2 of them. I have the actual book. But the way the book comes, I'm going to stop sharing for a second here. the book comes, or this is the same with the one that you guys are getting, which is that one there, which is in a binder, but it's easier to show to the screen, this one. It has colors here on the tabs, on the sides, and each color, the blue is for Word, yellow is for PowerPoint, then we have Excel that's green, and red for Access. And we're actually going to go ahead and not see things in this order. We're gonna say Word first, then we're gonna do Excel, then we're gonna do Access, and last PowerPoint, okay? We figure Access is where it, you know, we get Word, and then Excel, which gets deeper into it, and then Access gets deeper into it, and then PowerPoint, which is kind of fun and relatively easy, is kind of like sliding down because everyone has exams and finals and many different classes, and so we keep one of the easier ones towards the end to give you a chance to have more time to focus during for Excel and Access in between. Now, each one of these books has 3 modules, but we'll be doing 2, okay? So each assignment, each program has 3 modules. So you're gonna ignore module 3 on all of them and module 2 on Access. We're gonna be doing just 1 and 2. All right, so every single time you get to an assignment, the first page tells you what you're gonna learn, what tasks you're gonna learn. And then the next page is gonna show you that which you're gonna make. And that's really important, because if you are doing it and it's not looking like that when you're about to submit, you know something's wrong. So if anything about what you're about to submit doesn't look identical to the sample at the beginning, something's wrong. And you can see at the second page of every module. So if you go to module 2 or in Excel and Access, whatever, always that second page is gonna have the, there's some yellow pages, and it's always going to show you this is what you're going to do in module 2, right? So it's 3 pages, right? So you have to compare your work to that figure, because if nothing else, that visual, like you go, well, I don't know, mine looks almost like it. Well, you know, it'll be wrong. I'm trying to move this a little bit closer because it's easier to put pages on this one and hold it up. And this is on a little wheeled thing. Can you kind of see that? A little bit lower. There we go. So this is the thing. When you open the book, every single module, you're going to get, after you see what you're going to do, it's going to say start and create a blank document. So if you have the book in front of you, notice that in page 1.3 in this case, but at every time it says start with a blank document. And you have to grab a big old like black marker and cross that out and go, no, never, do not ever start with a blank document, okay? Always, 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 when it says start with a blank document, you need to go, no, for school, I need to start by downloading the start file. So those of you who already completed the assignment that we had for this week, you know how you had to go and download a start file and then you wrote the word hello in it? So you downloaded a file that was blank. The start document most of the times will be blank. In fact, all of the times. No, anyway, whatever. Most of the times it's blank, but it's marked by Cengage, by Sam, as a file that's only yours and no one else's. So you have to start with that one. If you start with a blank document, you complete the entire assignment and you submit it, I'll be told that you're cheating. I will be told that it's not the right thing. It'll be marked as wrong because you could have just used the assignment that your roommate who took the class last session made and submitted it. You know what I mean? So if it's someone else's and it's not, the system can tell. So you can't use anyone else's, nor even a new blank one, because as far as it's concerned, it's going to still flag me down that it's wrong. So ignore the start with a new document. Yes, you can read. It shows you how to open a new document. You need to know so you can practice opening a new document and read all those steps. But and it shows you the ribbon. It shows you the layout of Word and stuff like that. And I'll be showing you that too. But actually, to start completing the assignment, I mean, you do need to know this. This is the kind of stuff that you need to know. You need to understand how to do that. So you do need to still read it and do it. But when you're ready to start the assignment, actually, it starts on page, right there. The first point where it says entering text in a document, which is page 12, it says, okay, type, wash your hands, right? So that's actually the first thing you write in. It's on page 12. Does that make sense? So when you go and download your document, you start wash your hands, which starts on page 12. But if you skip all of this stuff, then you won't know how to handle your files, how to view in different views, how to actually do the ribbons and stuff like that. So go ahead and do this part, start a new document, follow all of this. And then when you get here, oh, I needed to start typing. This needs to be done in the real thing. So go download your start file and start following step by step all the way through to page 76, where it's over. Now, sometimes it says print your document. Follow all the instructions on how to reset, how to view your different prints, your different versions of printing. But then the last minute, which is press the print button. If you have a printer and you want to print it, go for it. But I will never ask you to submit a printed version. You will only submit the file, okay? So I don't need those prints. If you have a printer connected, go for it. When we were in the lab, we didn't even ask people to print them there. We do not submit prints, okay? So it's especially because the print doesn't tell me if you've gone through the steps. The print won't be, I need to see the digital file. The digital file is where I do see if the styles have been applied and all that. If you just made it bold and fat and it looks the same, but it hasn't been done through a style, the print doesn't show me that, versus the document does show me that you didn't use the style. You know what I mean? So the prints are immaterial, unimportant to your assignment. So let me go back here. Sharing, okay. All right, so this is what this page says. Basically, follow the steps from page 1 through 76, but do not create a blank document. You must download the start file and the support file. So this is a flyer we're going to be making, and you're going to need an image. Read all the steps, begin following from page 112. So that's what I just showed you in person, but in case you don't remember where to start or whatnot, here it is in this page. And you will get 0 points if you start with anything else. How to access the assignments, you need to click on the link inside of Canvas. So if anyone is still going to SAM to do anything, that is not the right place to do it. For us to get the assignment and then the grade back into Canvas, you need to start the assignment from Canvas, okay? So I'm gonna show, I kind of quickly showed those steps at the very end of last week's class. Some people had to leave. I'm gonna show it to you again, and this time we're also gonna download a support image. Plus, when you download them and you're on VDI, then you can't leave them in that downloads folder of the VDI. You need to move it to your S drive or they will disappear. And then you open the Word and file and start completing the assignment. Now, there's a step where you need to have the correct name. If you type in that name, you'll probably get it wrong because the names are kind of complicated. There's underscores and uppercases and lowercase. So I'm going to show you a trick of how to get the right name on your assignment before you even start working, so that then you can submit it and get it correct. Okay, so we're going to go and do that. But in case you need a reminder, I actually have here the steps. I screenshotted the steps. And this is important. When you're done creating that assignment, you still have to upload it and submit it. So there's a few steps to that. You open it again, the same thing that you clicked on to download the start file. You click on that same link, open it up, upload the file, check the reports, make your corrections, and submit again. Now, the first time you submit, no matter how well you think you're doing, you probably will have a medium-ish score to low, medium-ish to low. Everyone does. Because you're not aware the first time you do these assignments how nitpicky Sam is. And you kind of go, well, it looks the same. Yes, but you had 2 extra spaces on something. You get it wrong. Well, but it looks identical. You told me to check the thing. Well, guess what? Instead of using green 10%, you use green 20%. You get it wrong. It is very nitpicky because it's a computer that corrects it. And if it is not exactly as it was requested, you will get, nixed. So don't be surprised if after you thought you did everything right, even when you know how to use Word, when you upload it, if you find that you only got, half the points. The good news is you can click on reports. It'll tell you where you missed it, and you can go and fix that, not on the report, but on the original assignment, and then re-upload it. And you can upload up to 10 times. If you get it right in 2 times, that's fine. If it takes you 10 times, that's fine. As far as I'm concerned, it takes whatever long it takes for you to learn it, okay? It's up to you and how much you stick to it, whether you get in total, the total points or not on that assignment as far as I'm concerned. So there's always going to be a link and inside of Canvas that you need to click on. And inside of Canvas, you're going to have to load it again. And that second link, that's what's going to take you to SAM. In SAM, you're going to see how many submissions you're allowed. Now I have changed that. It used to be we only had 3 submissions allowed. I've done a lot of development, teacher training over the summer. And one of the places that I really got convinced, I did a whole course talking about, so who cares how many times you do it as long as you're learning. So I changed that to 10 times. Some of you will only do it twice. Some of you will do it 3, but many times 3 wasn't enough for some people, especially when it came to complicated assignments. And then they got a low grade. And I'm like, if you want to keep learning, you want to keep trying, be my guest, keep submitting until you get it right. So that's why I upped it to the maximum allowed, which is 10. But I'm not expecting you to submit 10 times. I'm just allowing you to submit 10 times. All right. So different point of view. So then you click start. It reminds you that you must use SAM. And then you'll see the reading for those of you who still want to read the ebook, which I highly don't recommend. And then the most important parts, which are the start file and the support files. Okay. So you'll download the start file and you'll download the start. And how to download them, you just need to click and it downloads, click and it downloads. Now, you go to your File Explorer, you move your files to the comp folder that you created. You go to your book and you start doing the assignment. You've completed your assignment. It looks exactly like this. Everything is identical, no questions, nothing missing. Okay, it's time to submit it. Well, this is you go back to the exact same link. You get that exact same window and you click on start again, which is like, wait a minute, I'm not starting it. Yes, you are. This is how you submit, okay? So once you submit again, this time though, you're in step 2, where it's telling you to upload. And this is the key. This is the place where you'll have the name of the file. This assignment is a different name than whatever you need to do, but it doesn't matter. You select from here the name, and the names can be sometimes easy, sometimes complicated. The file names this year are much more complicated. So select it from here. And then before you submit, make sure that if the file name isn't named this, you can just save as, paste this name in because it'll have your name. and then click on upload. Does that make sense? This is where you have that final name of what the assignment should be called. If you have it called anything different, or instead of underscores, you gave it a dash, or instead of putting your name, Diana Musacchio, you wrote Diana Musacchio with a space, or your name, you know, Veronica Vendetti or Vera James, you made a space. Anything like that, and when you upload, it'll go, file name is not correct, file name is not correct. And even if you do it again and again and again, you might keep getting it wrong because you can't see what's wrong. So just select it from here, save as, paste this name in, and then you'll be able to upload. Okay? Once you upload, it says, yes, file name is good. In fact, the check mark is on this side now, on this version, but it says, yay. But it's ready to submit. It's just telling you the name is right. So now you click submit. Once you've clicked submit, it'll, oh, this is if it tells you, no, name is wrong, okay? So you have to go and do that, and then you, so you submit again, and then you submit, okay? See, the names are pretty not fun, they're longish. Cool. Once you get the 4 little check marks, you're good, and then you see view report. Because this isn't graded, you don't know what grade you got once you submit. If you just are done and you submit and you go, you might be surprised to find that you got, you know, 2 points out of 10. You thought it was right, but Sam doesn't think it's right. So you're not done until you hit view report. Once you hit view report, what's gonna happen is a file's gonna download, and that's gonna be your report, okay? So this is actually, forget this one. This is what you're gonna open. I have to go and delete that one. You're gonna open something like this, and it'll tell you your score is, yikes, 0 out of 100. Now remember, this whole assignment is due 10 points, but Sam still grades everything as if everything was 100 points, all right? Now, when you get 100 points, it's worth 10 points in our course. If you get 70 cores, you get 7 points. Does that make sense? If you get 10 points, then you get 1 point in our course. Does that make sense, you guys? So this is 0 out of 100 is Sam. And it's gonna say, okay, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But the thing is, sorry, the thing is, I need to go back to this thing. It doesn't say you, Jeremy, forgot to put uppercase on the letter F, and you, Vera, forgot to put a dash behind the whatever. No. What it does is if that headline isn't exactly, then it just basically says, it repeats the instruction. It says the misspelled word group should be corrected to group. And you're like, but it says group. I wrote group. How come it says group? Right? And stuff like that. And you'll, or this is the one that's the most frustrating. It'll say the surf, this was another assignment, not yours right now. But there's a headline, surf's up. And you'll look at yours and you go, I have it, surf's up, surf's up. But it doesn't say, oh, you didn't put in an exclamation point. It just says, the document should contain the headline surf's up. And you're looking at it going, I wrote surf's up, but you need to notice that you forgot the exclamation point. Does that make sense, you guys? It doesn't say, Vera forgot the exclamation point and Jeremy forgot the period. It just says, it should say surf's up. And so you need to search what is missing. And that's how the report works. Let me, give me a second here. Again, my son's cooking and the alarm, the oven's beeping saying it's over. And I'm like, Sandy, go get your food. They're in the rooms. My office is in the living room, as you can maybe tell. So I'm like in this little corner where I hear everything that's happening and I'm like, shush, you know, until I'm done with this class, no sounds. But I hear everything. Okay. So now I'm gonna show this to you in Canvas. I'm going to stop this sharing. Before I keep going, any questions? It's, you already got a little bit of a feel for it because of the assignment that, well, if you did the one that's due today, that you had to write hello on it, you already went and clicked and did that. But I want to make sure that, let me put this in, I need to put it in student mode, so hold on. I need to sign in as if I am a student. I'm going to save you from having to watch me sign in and go into Canvas. Okay, let me share that. Okay, so now we can actually be sharing just the screen. And nope, I'm going to share just the screen instead of the here. Okay, so here's Comp 101. And say that the assignment, sorry, the assignment that's due, I'm going to go to the modules because the syllabus is a quick way, but if you go to the modules, then here it tells you a lot of what I'm telling you now. But the thing about these things is that it gives you links for those of you who are very new to Word or Office. By reading this lecture beyond what I have here to say, and that I'll give you as a lecture after I'm done with this stuff. At the bottom, there's some links to get some more tutorials from LinkedIn Learning and from places about Office itself to just practice. And then here, Word tutorial and getting started with Word. So say I click on Word tutorial, it takes me to this site, which is a very good site. And you can go, you know, getting started with Word. So for example, the beginning, getting to know the ribbon and all of that. This is that whole first portion before you get to page 12 where you start writing, wash your hands. All those 12 pages are what you talk about here, the ribbon, the toolbar, the backspace and stuff like that. So if you do this here, it's basically another way of getting more information about that, okay? All right, so then if you move on to what we need to do this week, this is what I'm put in the PowerPoint. I basically say the same stuff. Here's where you take the exam, and here you can click. I always make the words links. If you click on here, you start with the assignment. Then I have all of this other conversation. This is everything I just showed you today. But there's also some videos. So I didn't record these videos. These were recorded by Jen, Jennifer Robinson, who's the chair of the department. And she teaches what are normally the online courses. They're a little bit different as how I would teach them. And in particular, she says you can submit up to 3 times and stuff like that, which I've changed, but there's a couple of other things. But for the most part, at least it runs you through everything. Like it doesn't take into account BDI. And I know a lot of you guys are on BDI. So other than that, you know, it just tells you to put things in your, you know, desktop. And I'm just going to remind you repeatedly, if you're in BDI, do not do that. Do not put things.
Okay, so I have part of my project done.
Do not put it in BDI. So you can watch these to help yourself, or you can watch the repeat of what we're doing here, which is more accurate to our class in that a lot of you guys are in BDI, okay? But anyway, just wanted to show you that. Okay, so then if you want to get started, either you click on any of the many links I gave you in here, or you just keep going next, next, next. And here's the assignment, okay? So click on the assignment. And remember, you click on this exact same link when you're ready to submit, okay? So we get in here, see how mine says 10 times. I've already submitted 1 time when I was recording all of this stuff. So I'm down to only 9 submissions left. So I'm gonna start. And here's that expected file name. See how long it is? So just select this. I recommend select and copy right now at the very beginning, right? Select and copy it. I just did a copy. And if you don't know how to copy with the shortcut Command C, you can probably right click and copy, okay? So then.
You lost me as far as how you got there.
I'm sorry, you're right. Since I'd already done it, it took me straight there. Sorry. It doesn't land you in here. It lands you the first time you do it, it lands you here. Sorry about that. Once you've already downloaded this, the next time you come in, it lands you here. But the way between this and this is continue or back. Continue or back. So when you're here downloading the files, all you need to do is click on this and it downloads. There you go. Oh, I'm in Firefox, which is offering me to just open directly. Or you could tell it to save the file and tell it where to save it. I'm going to go ahead and say open directly. Chrome just downloads them. So I'm going to say okay and let it just open up. But then I'll download this one as well. And this time, in case you are doing it in Firefox, or even in Chrome, this time I'm going to say save. Oh, excuse me. So this time I'm going to say save. And it'll say, where do you want to save? And it'll save it into the downloads. Now see, they've both been downloaded. See how they're grayed out? That kind of tells me that I've downloaded them. But if you want immediately to get the right name, you can click continue right now. And then from here, copy the right name that you're going to have to do it. And then you're done. You leave this and you go to Word. So you go to your file explorer. Now, I am doing this as if I do not have BDI. I did this outside of BDI. But remember that show me a show of hands again. Who here is in BDI? Can you guys show me in the participants button? Because I'm not seeing you all right now. So quite a few of you guys are on BDI, right? So all of this should have happened inside of BDI. So I'm going to do that really quickly because the next step needs to be in BDI. So vmview.sbcc.edu. Oh, I did at the top. vmview.sbcc.edu. Return. Enter vmview. I'm going to go in. Let me see if she set me up already. I've asked for a student folder so that I can demo it. I don't know if she set me up yet. She didn't tell me she did. So I'm going in as myself. Okay. Toodaloo. Questions meanwhile? Nope.
Did you have to change the name of the
So
file?
then from this,
Yes, the file that you download. You upload. Okay. The starred file has a name, and at some point in the book, and I don't remember exactly where, it tells you save the file as. And so when you hit that step, you can follow that instruction. But until the moment you save your file, if for any reason, say that your internet disconnects, you will lose all your work. So I don't believe in waiting until step 29 or 37 to save your file. The moment you download it, you should immediately save as, give it the right name, and then do your whole assignment in it. You know what I mean? So let me see if perchance she set me up with a student folder. Yes, I have my student file. So good, I have a student file. I couldn't demo this part before because I didn't have the student folder, and these are all, I didn't know she'd done it, so I have all the stuff that I need to clear up. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just really quickly in here, I'm going to create the Comp 101 Fall 2020. 2020. And in here, we're going to do the Word, and inside of Word, this folder I'm going to call Word. And inside of this one, I'm going to have module. Okay, so that's where I want it to go, right? So Open up Google. Fine.
Okay, you lost me here. I can't find out where my document actually, it's in the download folder. Never mind.
Yeah, anything you download will end up in the downloads folder, exactly. That's where, and then that's the part that I'm about to demo. That's why I had to come in here to do it this way. Because I wanted it to be, make sure that when you download it, you download it in the right place. So anyway, this is from me as a teacher, so it looks a little bit different. But I'm gonna go ahead and go to the assignment by going to the syllabus. And I'm gonna go click on submit Word 2019 Module 1 project. And then load it. And see, it looks a bit different from me because I'm a teacher. But anyway, I'm going to click here on Start Files and see how it downloaded, and on the support, and it also going to download. And you guys might notice that I have a solutions file. Which, hey, why isn't this downloading? There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and download the solutions file so that you can imagine that I just finished it. Okay, so these files that I just downloaded, they're not in the right place. They're not in my S drive. And any other place they go, they will disappear. So I'm going to go to my downloads, and there they are. All these files end up in the downloads folder. So if they stay there and you start opening this file, save the file name correctly, start working, what's going to happen is that you're going to go, I need to go to lunch or dinner, or you have a fluctuation in your internet connection and you get disconnected. And because you left it in there, you're going to lose all your work. So please, I don't know how many times to explain it and say it. Already someone in my other course lost their work before they submitted it because they hadn't saved it in S drive. So you need to move these guys from the downloads folder into your final file. So there's so many ways to do it. In her little video, Jen shows one way to do it. I prefer doing it differently. So I'm going to show you a different way to do it. So over here on this PC, if you open that little arrow, you get all of your different areas of this PC open, and there's student drive. And if I click on that little arrow and open that one, then in the student drive, you have all your folders. You guys will only have one. So here I am in my Comp 101 Fall 2020 with Word. You should have the whole setup, Module 1, right? So if you keep opening down, 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 you'll find that there's Module 1. So how easy is it now for me to grab from here? This is the start file, and just drag it down. Boom, I put it in Module 1. Now I'm going to grab the support file and put it, see that little plus sign that turns on? And I let go and I put it in there. And now this is the completed one. I'll put it in there. So if I now in downloads have them, but I've moved them to my S drive, instead of moving, they got copied because this is one computer and this is another. And I don't want to get into the details, but in your own computer, that would have moved them. But from server to server, this got copied. So if I go click in here and go to module, there they are. And they are in my S drive, so they are safe. They are safe if I now disconnect or whatever. When I open up and go into my S drive again, the files will be there. Does that make sense? Versus tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, when I open up my VDI, I go to my downloads, it's going to be empty. So you don't want to leave anything you've been working on in your downloads folder. Now, if this is your own computer, you can work off of your downloads folder. It's just not good practice, and we're trying to teach you good practice, trying to teach you to be efficient, try to teach you people who go to work and can share your files with people because everyone knows within a structure where they are. So you need to know where your files are. So you need to take them out of downloads. Now, if you don't like doing this whole thing, I'm going to show you another way. Say you go to your downloads, then what you can do is you can right click on one of these guys. So right click and, oh, the right click on the PC and Mac. That's true. The right click isn't gonna work. I have a pen instead of a. There we go. Copy it. Right. This is kind of what Jen does. You can copy it, and then go to your student folder. Open up your Comp 101 Word Module 1, and then you can right click and paste it. Okay. And then it ends up here. So if you like copy paste, you can do it that way. So basically you go to your downloads and select all your files, copy them, and go back into your Word Module 1 and paste them, whatever it takes. Now you will only have 2 files. I have 3 because one of them is my solution file. Now from in here, you guys can go to that second place where the name is what it should be. Now I know what the name should be. Is it supposed to have my first and last name? So I'm gonna give it the right name. And I'm gonna, when you open your, trying to think, format it. I'm just trying to, I'm copying the name from here because I don't have it like you guys because of the teacher version that I opened. I don't have it on YouTube. Okay, so basically we're going to go to that new Microsoft Word document that you downloaded. You can double click on it and open it. Or if you had it open straight from Chrome, you can open it there. So this is the start file. And lo and behold, it looks very unimpressive. It's just a blank file. It's all it is. But because of how Sam and Cengage have coded it, it's only good for you. Even though it says new Microsoft Word first last name, it doesn't have your name in there. It is yours and only yours. So how do we make this into the right thing? You go into, and by the way, I need to go ahead and move this out of the way. Story. So that was just me because of the sample time. So you're gonna go to File. You have to change the name, okay? The file name right now is new Microsoft Word document first last name. That is not what you need to turn in. It won't accept it. So you go up to File, Save As. Now, let me say for those of you who are Mac users, this is not existent in Mac. So in Mac, we do not have a tab. The first tab we have on a Mac is Home. This File tab only exists on a PC. So if you're doing this on a Mac, I've said many times I recommend you doing it in VDI. But say that you want to know how to use your Mac. Well, the word file is above, like up here. You have to go to File, Save As, up kind of in this area, which doesn't exist on the PC because in the PC you just have this thing. So say File, Save As. And before you can save as, it's going to go, where do you want to put it, right? So you guys think it through because I don't want to, you know, tell you where to go. Where do you think? Somebody speak up. Where should this go? I'm saying save as. I'm about to create a new file with the right name. Where should I put it?
Module 1.
In my Word folder in the student drive. Module 1. So somebody said module 1, someone said student drive, so you're all right. How do I find it from here? How do I find that? Well, you could either know that it's in this PC and try to find it there, or the easiest solution for all of these choices is always to browse. Now, current folder says module 1, but sometimes you're not in the right place. So don't hope for these to be right. Just always browse. So click on browse. And then over here, it's so easy because on the left side, it might be closed already. It might still be down to this PC. Click on this PC. And over here, you would have to search for the S drive. And there it is. I prefer not to do it this way. You can't. I prefer opening this little guy right there and searching for the S drive in there. and clicking in the S drive in there. And then I can click on the folders I want. So it's just a preference. Either works. So not inside of S drive, not inside of Word, all the way into module 1. And here is where I'm going to put my new one with the new name, which I copied from that assignment. So over here, I'm just going to select the original name and then just paste. Okay, there we go. And that's the full name. Now you can go ahead and write it if you want, but you will probably get it wrong. And remember that the name has to have no spaces. So if you wrote your name like Diana Musacchio like that, that's not going to be accepted. You need to have no space between your first and last name. And then there's underscores and ones and stuff. So it's much easier to just paste it. Now, here's the thing that's important. You might or not see the last little bit. You might or not see .docx. If you see it, it's because your computer is set up to show you the extensions. That's great. Don't write it again. You won't get into trouble because you're seeing it. You won't write it again. But the people who get into trouble are people who write it again. Since you don't see it, you think you need to write it again. But this setup, the VDI at least, and many people's Macs, is set to hide extensions, which blows my mind. It seems so useless to me not to see extensions, but that is the basic setup of the Windows computer. It's going to save it as a Word document, which is .docx. So do not add it. If you do add .docx yourselves, then when you save the file, you'll end up having a name.docx.docx. You'll have a double extension. And then that won't be accepted by SAM, nor is it a good way of naming a file. It becomes really complicated when you have a double extension. Does that make sense, you guys? That portion? So if it's empty, that's fine. It will be added by Word. All right, so I'm ready to go. I put in the whole right name and I'm going to say save. And now I'm got the same blank document, but it's got the right name that I need to submit. It's in the right format and it's in my S drive. So it's safe if right now I have some kind of a glitch. So that's a little bit that doesn't matter to people who are not in VDI. You have it wherever you have it, but wherever that is, make sure it's inside the module 1 of your Word of your Comp 101. Okay. Now that part tends to be the hardest part for people who don't understand file management really well. So
okay, I'm at a total loss because I thought I was in the proper area, but I guess I'm not in the proper area. So I went to Canvas.
I'm going to stop that share and tell me what you're saying again and speak a little bit louder. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, I went to the area in Canvas, submit_Word 2019, type module 1 textbook project.
Yeah. Okay,
and then it says it was successfully loaded. But, wrong one.
Do you want to, what's the question, or do you want to share to tell me what's happening?
Yeah, I see it says expected file upload, but I don't see where I can download the file, the SC_W.
Can you share your screen with me, please?
Back button.
Yeah, I did.
Well, but just share the screen because her question is everyone's question. Just answering you only gives you an answer versus the whole class an answer. So go to the share screen button.
Okay, I did that.
Let's go ahead and after you share your screen button, the green screen, then there's another window that pops up and it's the bottom right blue share that you need to click to complete your share.
It says allow Zoom to share your screen.
Yep.
Open system preferences.
You're on a Mac. Okay. So it's okay. It opened up into a window that you need to scroll a little bit down and then you'll see the word Zoom and a little checkbox that you need to click is empty. On the left of the word Zoom, you need to check that checkbox to get your system preference permission to share. Can you see that? You opened the system preferences opened up for you, right?
Right.
So you're in the security and privacy window. So don't think too much. Don't go anywhere else. Just in front of you, there's a little sidebar in a window. In that window, scroll to the bottom of that window and Zoom will appear. And you need to click on the little box that appears right next to it. Once you check that checkbox, then you can go and click on share and it'll share your screen.
I don't see that. I see at the top, basic, advanced files, and then a bunch of icons, desktop one.
I'm sorry, can you,
I don't see that. I just see
Yeah.
basic,
okay,
advanced.
at the bottom of that window on the far right, there's a little share blue button.
Okay, I click that.
Okay.
And then it says open system preferences.
Oh, so maybe you didn't click on the Zoom then. That system preference that's in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so on the left side, it has a bunch of stuff in a sidebar, ignore them, but the main window of that little system preferences box, the
Is Zoom.
bottom choice is Zoom. You need to check that box. Do you see it?
Yeah, so it gives me a do now or quit later, something.
It say, so quit now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
if you guys tell me what's happening, then I can help you because,
Then I leave, it says leave meeting.
okay, don't say no to that, say cancel to that. And now
Okay.
go back to the meeting and share your screen. As long as you clicked on that Zoom box, you will have given it permission. Now try to click share screen again. So this is only the first time you share, which is why I always encourage people to share, because once you've done it one time, you never have to do this again. Okay, it takes one time to share when you're on a Mac to change your system preferences and give it permission by checking that. And then after that, that's it. You're always allowed to share. But if we don't do it once, then you don't get past that, the step that Bear is going. Who else has a Mac here?
Well, it's not working on my Mac. Oh, there we go. It
Yeah,
just took a while for it to start.
yeah, well, you just need to give it that permission and then it has to go in there. Okay, so now you're in the downloads, the file here, right? So
Exactly.
did you already download? Click on new Microsoft Word document. Did you click on that already? On the word new Microsoft, down a little bit lower down. But yeah, click on that. There you
Okay.
go, that download. Now go and do the support file. Not there, but the actual file. Go down. Yeah, there. That's where you download it. Okay.
Do I download World module?
No, that's if you want to read the book. So now hit continue. That's if you want to read the ebook. And that, where it says expected file name, right underneath that, that's what you need to copy. That's the name that your file needs to have. So copy that whole thing. Click from the beginning to the end of that file name. Copy that. Perfect. Now go down to whatever tab says new Microsoft. Now see down there in Chrome on the left, you have on the Chrome, you have 4 tabs.
Yeah.
No, stop, move out of that for a minute. Just click away from that. Okay, so no, just move your mouse kind of to some blank area and don't do anything until I show you what to do. So now at the bottom of this window, right underneath click or drag or drop here, you see that you have some tabs. You see
Yeah.
support file and you see Microsoft, the new, so click on that tab.
Which one? The new
The second
Microsoft?
one, new Microsoft, yeah. That's the one that you downloaded. That's your blank file. So click on that tab. I don't see your mouse right now. Nope, I'm gonna have to ask you, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to ask you to let me
Let you drive?
let you drive just so that I can point it, yeah. So give me a sec here. Requesting remote control. Can you say yes to that,
Yes.
please? Okay, so look, guys, after you click on these things to download, this mouse that I'm moving right now is mine. In Chrome, down here, you get a series of names. These names are the files. It looks like you downloaded things twice. So you downloaded it here, you downloaded it here, you downloaded it here, here, and here. See how it's the same thing? She kept clicking. So if you go back here,
It
every
doesn't say
time you
the
click
same
on
thing.
this, it downloads one more time. And every time you click on this and download one time. So she downloaded the new Microsoft one time, another time, and the support. Yep, so that's why it's confusing, because every time you click, I'm going to do it one more time to be obnoxious. Click one more time. Boom. See how it came in again. So now in her downloads folder, she has new Microsoft Documents 1, new Microsoft Documents 2, new Microsoft 3, because they keep naming themselves that. Does that make sense? So you don't need that many, but if you have that many, it's not a big deal. You just have that many. So now when we do want, I'm going to go to the first one. I'm going to open it. You can open it just from here by clicking on it and it's going to kick in. Now, are you in BDI or are you in?
No, I'm on my PC now.
You're on your PC. Okay, so then go to your File Explorer so I can show the Downloads folder. I can't reach your Downloads folder. Once you get there, I can operate it, but I need you to open your File Explorer.
I can't get to it either.
It looks, you know what I'm seeing back here? It looks like it opened up.
Here we go.
Okay, so stop for a minute. Let me drive. So just let me drive your computer for a second. So yeah, so I'm gonna say okay to that, and I'm gonna say cancel to this for a second, because it seems like you have, let me just close a whole bunch of empty. So you have it open here one time. So I'm gonna close that because we certainly don't want many open. See how all these versions of the same one? So this is actually yours. I'm gonna bring that down.
You can close that
Minimize it. It's yours. I don't know what that is. And then here you have another one. So I'm gonna minimize that. So these are all things that you have open. I'm minimizing them, but I'm seeing a lot of other windows open, and things don't work well when there's a ton of open windows. You have a window there and a window there, so it just becomes really confusing. I'm just cleaning things up a little bit. Okay, and then here's your book. Minimize that. So I'm minimizing things to get rid of so many windows, or it becomes really hard to clearly understand what's going on. So if you guys have a ton of windows open like that, make sure to bring it, and then have one more window down there. What's that? There's one more. Okay, and minimize that one as well. Okay, so now we're down to finally just the two windows, the canvas here, which is what we were just working with, and this is your File Explorer.
Yep.
Now, if you go to your downloads, look at how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that one. And let me grab here and drag it open so you can see the names. The first one is the first one. The second one gets in between parentheses 1. Third one, 2. The fourth one, 3. See what I mean? And then the same with the support. So you can get rid of all of those. Just
Okay.
make sure that you don't get, you can get rid of them from the recycling bin. It doesn't matter. All I want is for you to know that these two, the first two,
Mm-hmm.
they need to go to your comp folder. Where did you make your comp folder? You put it in your documents?
Yeah.
There it is, comp 101. Oh, look at that. I see what's happening. You have it set, wait a minute. Every time you double click, a new window opens up.
Oh, that's right, because I have it in Cascade or something or another.
Oh, that is absolutely not recommended.
Okay, so I took it off Cascade.
Yeah, close all of that. Okay, yeah, that is definitely a drive crazy kind of situation. Okay, so now you have no windows open. Can you open up the File Explorer now that I closed all of them? Okay, so now let's do that again and show me, make sure it's gone. Double click Comp 101. Good. Double click Word. Oh, no, a window still opens up.
What are they tiling?
So you know what's happening? You just fix it on this one window, but it isn't fixed for all of them. Okay.
Undo
All right.
Cascade.
So this I have never, I'm using your computer now. So let go for a minute.
I'm just gonna uncascade all of them.
Yeah, but you can't uncascade each one. You need to go to the very source one and uncascade from there, so to say, because otherwise it's going to keep cascading. So I think it's actually a setting you need to change in the settings, but go ahead and do it. And
Yeah,
do cascade
undid all models.
But try now. Go ahead and double click Word. Nope.
Oh, it's still
No,
happening.
this is very frustrating. I think you need to go all the way into settings to change that. This is yeah. I don't know what this is only changing it for this one.
You don't have to double click. You could just hit and then open it, click it, and then open it.
But even if you do, so your solution around this until we can figure out, I think it's in the settings, but your solution around this would be to actually find things like I was explaining over here. So where you put this is in your documents, right? So if you go over down here, so forget the little quick access toolbar and all of that.
Mhm.
Scroll down and go to your documents right there and open that little guy
Okay.
and then open your comp. So I'm gonna let you do it. Here, go ahead and you do that. Go to this PC and go click on that little arrow. Yeah. Then go, yeah, and now go Comp 101 and then open Word and now click on Module 1. Single click on Module 1. Perfect. And now in here, you have the 2 files ready to go.
Okay. So I'm supposed to rename the first one?
So now that one needs to be renamed. There's 2 ways of renaming. One was the save as that I showed you before. The other one is just to right click in here and to rename this file and just paste, because you have, it's still there from the moment that you copied it. It's still in the memory.
Okay.
And take the DOCX out, because that you have it set up in a way that you don't have extensions. And so, yeah,
Yeah, I don't have that.
and
No.
now click away. All right. So you're ready to go. So now you can, now to open the file, you can double click. You can double click and it opened in Word. Now guys, see what, okay, you went too quickly, but did you see that yellow bar that she had at the top? And she did it really quickly and we didn't get a chance to show it to you, but so a yellow bar appeared that she had to say enable edit. Okay, so if you ever can't seem to do anything in your document, you have to first enable edit. Okay, and then see how her file is already named correctly. Now we need to fix that whole cascading windows, and I think I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to go ahead and have you stop sharing right now, but
Okay.
that is completely a drive crazy kind of situation that'll fill your window with windows after windows and won't give you much of a chance to find.
Diana, for some reason inside of module 1, I have 2 folders, one that's SAM project and textbook project. I think we did that once as an activity. Am I not supposed to have that?
Yeah, you're, and if you go into module 1, if you also added textbook project and SAM projects, that's fine. Then you have to go one step deeper. You have to click into module 1 for this assignment and do it inside of that. And then the assignments that'll be due next week will be the SAM projects will go in the other one. Okay.
So for this one, I just save it under module 1. I don't have to go into.
No, go one further and go textbook project, because this is the textbook project.
Okay, so going to the textbook project.
This is,
Okay.
this one that we're working on is based off of the assignments in your textbook. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Vera, for showing us that
Oh,
and
thank you.
going through those steps. You're welcome. Any other questions, you guys? Hopefully you're doing this parallel so that you're stumbling or coming across what is or isn't working. This isn't a show and tell time. This is a do and tell, do and ask kind of time. So if you're just watching, you're missing out on me being able to help you when you run through a stumbling block. Okay. So any questions? All right. So I'm gonna continue sharing my screen. All right, so here I am. I finally put it in the right place. I'm ready to start. And if I go over to page, by the way, you do need to read through the first, 11 pages, because otherwise you will be missing a lot of information on how to operate. But right now I'm not teaching you how to use Word. I will teach you those steps later for those of you who want to stay for that. But right now I'm just telling you how to submit this assignment. So now you go to page 112 and, go ahead and complete your assignment. When you're done, you save, you close the file.
Diana, we can't see your screen. It's Cecile, sorry. I can't see your screen.
Okay,
maybe-
I believe I'm sharing the right one, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
but
it took a while for my internet. Sorry.
I was hiding behind you for a little bit, that's fine. So basically what we need, I'm gonna go ahead and bring the completed one over here, which is just me. And it's just because it's the right one. Need to give it the right one. Name. Space. And this is the completed one. And I'm gonna replace. So if you have one more folder in here, which is textbook, two more folders in here. One is textbook project and one is SAM, 1A and 1B. Some of you went ahead and did that. Then all of these belong in the textbook project. Okay, this is just for if you went one step further. Okay, so up here you're in this PC student, Comp 101, Word Module 1, textbook project, and all that. And this is a simple one. There's other files where we're gonna have even more files in it. That's what's it's nice to keep them in folders with all of the stuff that comes in with it. So now I'm ready to submit, and I'm gonna get rid of that one because it's the non-completed one. Okay, so here's my finished file. I've completed, I've given it a name. Oh, I need to give it the right name. There we go. And I am ready to submit. Okay, so I go back to SAM. I go back to the assignment, and if you are still on this page, you can refresh it by telling it to reset itself, and then you can click on it again. Let me just show you where I was at before again. When you've already used it, you have to refresh it or go back to wherever it's due, and here it is. Take the submit, load. And oh, because I'm a teacher, I signed in as teacher, so I can't submit the assignment, which is very frustrating. And Sam, it's not letting me do it. Erg.
Well, I can't see view reports. I clicked on view reports and there's no feedback.
I need someone else to demo this because I'm not a student, so I can't demo this portion. Can you actually demo and show me, Vera, since you already did it, and then I'll see what you mean by not seeing the view reports.
Okay, you want me to do it again?
Yeah, go ahead and share again. This time you're set now, so all you need to do is click on share screen and then the little blue share button, and it'll share immediately. Anyone else who is at the place I'm at where we're trying to submit, please go ahead, and you have 10 times to submit, so we can use one up to test this. So share. Okay,
Go back.
you already went through the steps. Whoops.
Yeah.
So you said start, and
And then
then here,
Then I said upload.
secure upload.
And
Now,
then I
hold on. Stop for a minute, though. Stop. Because you've already submitted twice out of 10.
no, just once.
Well, yeah. So, but the one that you submitted, I don't want you to have to do it again. So go ahead and cancel, because, I mean, you do have 10 attempts, but I don't necessarily need you to do it.
Okay, so yeah, so it says,
So go back. You were in the place where you had already
yeah, here we go.
submitted. So you're going to have to submit again anyway. Huh? But you were in the place where you had your little 4 check marks.
Yeah, I did. But then when I click review reports, I didn't get any feedback.
Yeah, you did. In fact, look at, okay. So you know how she had the window where it said view reports, and she said she didn't get anything? Don't bother with this. I want to show you where you got it. So look down on the left where you get your tabs again, to the left of new report. I wish I could move your mouse. Go down all the way to the left of the screen. Move your mouse and hit the left, left, way left.
Just go to the downloads folder.
Now right underneath. Now go down 1 inch down, 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 down.
Mm.
1 inch. Move your mouse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were there. Yeah. Okay. That first thing that says SCW1. You were there. You were there. Move your mouse down. Where's your mouse now?
Right
Yes. An inch down, there's a tab that says SCWD down at the bottom of your screen. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask you. This is hold on. Request remote control. You guys so appreciate it that Vera is doing this because many times.
Vera, just go to the
Please don't. Let's not speak over me.
mhm.
It's very. I'm trying to say. When someone is telling you what to do and you're not doing it, it's very frustrating. So Vera, thank you for putting yourself out there and doing this. It's very hard sometimes what might be obvious to me to explain. So here's the thing. Sometimes when I'm moving your mouse around for you without doing it, and I'm saying go left, go right, you're all still trying to find it yourselves. And at that point, you need to just trust me. And if I say, go and hit the very left side of your screen, just go hit the very left side of your screen. And when I say move an inch down, just move an inch down. And then you'll kind of find what I'm pointing to. And it's hard because you want to read and find it yourself. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Well, I didn't know you meant
Okay, so
down
I
on the
was trying to finish that. Katie?
Just Vera, just go to your downloads folder. That's where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
As well.
I also want to show.
I got it uploaded. I would just wanted to view the reports.
Okay. So
Sorry.
when you hit view reports, you said you didn't see it. So I'm giving you an answer and Katie's giving you another one. So hold on.
Yeah, I just got the 4 stars. Is that
You
all
got
I'm
4
supposed to see?
stars, and
Yeah.
then you did click on view reports.
Yeah.
So down here, the first thing that you see there, that's your report.
Oh, okay.
But if you had forgotten this, okay, this is where things downloaded. Remember last time they downloaded that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if you had forgotten that, once you download something, where do they go?
to downloads.
To the downloads, see? So I'm not trying to give you the answer. I want you to think it. If you click on something that says view reports, trust everyone. Once you click on something here, trust, guys, that it went into your downloads. You might or not see it
I
here.
didn't know
You might not know where
I
to
didn't know it was gonna create a reports document.
It goes into your downloads. So now go to your downloads and let's look for it. You can click here and find it. But if you click here, you later don't really know where this is representing what's in your downloads. So instead, go find your file documents again. Nope,
Okay, sorry.
here.
There it
Okay,
is.
over
right
here.
there.
But if you go to your downloads, downloads, every single thing you download, up at the very top. One more. Downloads is one more up from documents. Yep. And there it is. Now watch, guys.
Report.
Wait, don't double click yet. Open that up a little bit more. Go to that. Yeah, click and drag.
It
See,
says
if you
report.
don't see the whole name, then you don't know. But see, that is the name. It has the name of the file, then the whole thing, underscore report 1. Okay.
Okay.
Now, it's important for you to distinguish between the report and not. And now you guys, if you're on VDI, she's not. You should move this report also to your S drive, because this is what's telling you how you did. And if you don't move it and you don't put it in your S drive, if you're in your own computer, it doesn't matter. But if you put it in your S drive, then later when you're going to go back to saying what was right or what was wrong, then you'll be able to. So she's putting it in her documents. Okay. Yeah, but you had already opened it. You didn't notice, but when you clicked down here, you'd opened it. So you have it open. So go to it now. And you have 2 things open in Word right now. The left is your assignment, and the right one, yep, click on that. That's.
I'm gonna close it
Why did you close it? No.
so I can save it.
Go ahead and close it now. That's your report, so it doesn't need to be saved. Just double click on it and open it again. Yep. Nope, went up. Yeah, the S, it starts with SC underscore. That's your report. Yeah, double click on it.
No, that's my,
What's that on your right? You have,
yeah, this one is it right here.
yeah.
I just got it from my downloads folder.
Can you not click on anything? I want to show people that, see that yellow line under the blue ribbon? She's got a protected view. Be careful. Flyers can convey virus. You see that guy? It's safer to stay in protected view. You can't move forward to make any changes until you hit enable editing. Now, in this case, you don't need to write in this one anyway, so you don't need to enable editing. This one's just for you to read. But she also has on the left side this panel open as her automatic panel that says navigation. It takes up a lot of your screen. So click on that little X to get rid of it. And there we go. And since this one is just for reading, you can or not enable editing. There you go. This is her report of everything she did. Which of course, in this case, is probably, you probably got 0 out of 100, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is missing, right? So, but this is very important. Keep going down, because when all of this is over, yeah, keep going. Then it actually shows you your assignment, which in her case is just the words wash your hands. See that?
Yeah.
Now, be very careful, because this there, it's just repeating what's, I'm gonna move this file over a little bit more, because it's basically telling you what's wrong. And you will see your completed assignment here, and it'll have grading engine, it'll point to all the good stuff and the bad stuff. This is not where you fix the file. Right now, there's not much. It just says wash your hands, because that's all she submitted. But it can get very confusing, because if you are in your report, you might be tempted to fix it right here. If it said, oh, you're supposed to have an exclamation point, and you might want to fix it here. This is not the place to fix your assignments. This is just your report. Be aware, because when you scroll to the bottom, you will see your assignment. That is not right. You need to go back to your assignment, the actual assignment. And then if you were supposed to put in, an exclamation point or whatever it is that you're supposed to do in there, then that's where you do it, okay? Say it, but don't do it in the report. Fix it, do whatever you need to fix, save, and resubmit this one. Then you can get rid of that report or not, it doesn't matter, because after you submit the second one, the next report you come down will come down as report number 2. And you open that one to see what's, and then maybe it's up to 50 over 100. And then you see what's missing. You fix it again, and the real thing, you submit it again. Report number 3, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to end up having 2 Word files open. You always need to many people make that mistake where they start making their corrections inside of the report. And you want to just really steer clear of that. The report is only going to tell you. And by the way, at some point it says, to type text, wash your hands should be entered in the first line of the document. Well, of all things, that's the only thing she has, wash your hands. But the reason it was wrong is because it was supposed to have an exclamation point and she didn't have it. And that's why, even though she had it, it still said it was missing. Because at least you could have gotten that point, right? But she didn't, because it didn't have it. So now I added it because I knew that was the mistake it had in it, right? And if she were to submit it again, don't waste another one of your submissions for this, but it would at least have that point right. But it would have been hard to tell, yeah? Because it says the text wash your hands should be entered. And you'll go to look at yours and you'll go, well, it's there. And you'll go back and it still says it needs to be entered. And you're like, what's wrong? And so you need to pay attention to the details, which is, in this case, the exclamation mark was missing. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, Vera, for once again proudly sharing your screen. I really appreciate that, especially in my case that I couldn't demo mine because mine is set in teacher mode. It's very helpful to everyone, and it's I very much expect everyone at some point to have questions and to need to share their screen. So do it sooner rather than later. Learning how to share your screen is important. Okay. Any other questions regarding the assignment? Nope. Yes, maybe. Nope. Hello? Hi
Well,
there.
I'm just wondering. I think I'm confused. What steps am I supposed to follow? The ones in the textbook?
Yes. Do you have the textbook in front of you?
Uh-huh.
Do you have the textbook in front of you?
I do.
You have it? Okay. So now if you want to pin my window or something, oof, wow, it's getting darker and darker. And I noticed that I have not turned on my lights in here. There's one light. Here's the, actually, hold on. Turn on my ceiling light. Okay. And now we can see something. Okay, so here's your textbook, right?
Yeah.
Notice that there's a whole bunch of writing, and then there's some points that have a round little circle. And each page, it's like starts with a 1, and some have 1 and 2, and somehow, you know, on this page I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this page.
Okay. Yeah.
And others, it starts with 1 each time, right? But each one of these steps is something you need to do. So first thing you need to do is go to the very beginning, and just after you go past the, hold on, after you go past the example,
Mm-hmm.
right? Get this down. After you go past the example, then you just start where it says open a blank page and you know not to, right? Open your start file and then start reading. And at first, it just has you, notice there's no, you know, it says go here to open the blank file. Well, you've already opened it, so you're kind of over here already. And then it says, if the print layout button is not selected, click it so that your screen matches layout. So as of here, you can begin doing stuff. And then it tells you stuff. Now, this things that it tells you, if you don't read it, you might complete your assignment correctly anyway. But you will not learn that much about what you're doing. You will become a very good follower of steps A to Z, but not someone who understands how Word works. Because when it tells you, click on this button to get a style, and you do that, then you'll just get a style, but you won't understand what styles are or why we're asking you to put in a style. So you need to read this whole thing and then read this and read this, but these next few steps don't have red buttons, right? So you just kind of read, because this is what, no, you read, you open, you do what it says to do, you kind of find out about the ribbons, find out about all of those paths, and by the time you get to this page, when it says, this is the page 112, then it says type, wash your hands, then you start just following instructions, read, and whenever it says do this, do that, you do exactly, and it shows you where to, you know, what to click on to get the next thing, and da. The thing is that a lot of people end up going 1, 2, 3, and you've missed on the explanation of why you're doing what you're doing and what you're supposed to be learning. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
in my classroom lectures, I always give extra credit points for people who answer questions that are only in the, it's called in between the dots, in between the red dots. Because that is what I consider actually understanding what you're doing. So be aware that as of next class, I'll be asking questions of things that are in between the dots and assigning points for those. But the assignment itself is you following from 1 through page 76. Now there's a lot of pictures, so it's not like, you know, 76 pages of a book, which takes a long time, but it's still, these assignments take some time. You're learning to do some complex processes, and a lot of, it'll teach you not just to put some words on the flyer and send it in, but to really do it correctly, where you're doing it from the very beginning, where you're doing it, setting up styles instead of just bold. You'll learn stuff at a much deeper level than just any way you've already done it. So that's why it takes so many steps. But each assignment will lead you through learning a whole bunch. You really do learn a lot from completing the 76 pages. Now, next week, when you do the SAM project, instead of having pictures for every step, it'll be specifically a list of instructions, which is equivalent to just saying, set the style to this one and the effect to that one. And you'll be like, hey, well, in this assignment today, it showed you all the effects, how to gate them, how come, why. And then by next time, it'll just say, just do it. And you'll have to refer probably to the steps in the book to remember how to do it, okay? Then the textbook you should always do first. You'll get to a place where you'll be doing both at once. You'll be doing textbook and SAM for the same submission. You should always do the textbook first because it teaches you. And then the SAM is reinforcing and doing a similar set of steps as your second submission. But you can't do that one if you haven't done the first one. Does that make sense? Because the textbook is where you get all the steps. Guadalupe, did that answer you, or do you have any other questions around that?
Yeah, that answered my question.
Cool. All right. Anything else regarding this assignment? Not how to, that we're going to go into that next, how to actually use Word, but as far as how to complete the assignment, or those of you who arrived late, I gave a lot of explanations about the other thing that's due next week is the computer concepts exam. And we talked a lot about how different the computer concepts exam is to the Windows 10 exam that you had to do for today. So please watch the video after this because you want to do well on the exam, and we gave a lot of tips around that. Or stay after during lab time if people are working on stuff and you guys want to ask me, I can tell you about that again. Okay, any other questions about this assignment? All right, so as I said, now I'm ready to start explaining how Word works, which for some of you guys, you don't need this part, and for some of you guys do. So let me give you a choice about whether to stay for the next part or not. Let me do the following. To leave or not to leave, that is the question. So, if you know your way around, hold on, there we go. So these are the things that you're gonna be learning. And I have 2 or 3, I have like 5 or 6 different things that I'm gonna talk to you about. And there's a few things in particular that people always get wrong, like how to change theme colors and why and what even is a theme, how to insert photos, resize them, add page borders, line and paragraph spacing, things that are pretty crucial, and some of you guys might know it or not know it, or you might know how to resize pictures correctly or not. If everything you read in here is like, okay, I got it, then yeah, after I'm done speaking in about 3 more minutes, you're welcome to two options: to disconnect from Zoom and start working, or go eat or do whatever, or B, to stay on Zoom and quietly start working on your assignment. And when you run into trouble, you can ask Katie or me to help you. So you can use the next few hours as lab time to get your work done, to work on this assignment, or to run through the computer concepts tutorials, which, as you saw, is pretty dense and is going to need a lot of going through all those 33 steps to get it right to do well on your next exam. So you can do any of that. Specifically, are you comfortable with formatting characters? Do you even know what formatting and hidden characters mean? That's something I'm going to be explaining. How to move text with clicks and drags and dropping in the right place. So not like copying and pasting, but actually dragging around. How to check your spelling and grammar as you go and at the end of the document. changing case. You'll be surprised to know that this one is one that most people get wrong. Oh, come on, I know how to change case. Well, you might not know all of the details of changing case, and it is something you'll be shown in the assignment. Text effects, shading, outline, shadow, themes, big deal. Everyone needs to understand themes. Oh. Applying picture styles and picture effects. Page borders. Have you ever given it, not a border to a photo, but have you ever given a page a border? Worked on formatting the entire document and centering the page. Those are things that you're going to learn in this assignment. Okay, so print preview before you print. Are you sure it's ready to go? Basically, this is the last thing you need to do before you submit. It needs to look exactly like that figure 1.1 on page 1, right? Okay, so that's my spiel. If you know how to do all of that, then either go have fun, watch a movie, or stay and do your work. And if you need to know more about this, then we'll take a break, and when we come back, I'll lead you through some of that stuff, and I'll teach you some of that stuff. And you're welcome to be working on your assignment and kind of listening sideways and then listening to what you need and what you don't need, or to actually listen to the whole thing and work with me. Once we come back from break, I'll ask you guys, I'll need to know who's working with me and who's working on their own stuff so that I'll know who to address. That's how I do it in person in school. It's the first time we'll try it here. We'll see how it works. If necessary, we'll have Katie in a group of people doing the work and me in a group of people teaching them. We'll see how that works. And if that doesn't work, we'll have you all together, and we'll use Katie just to help the people who are stuck. So we're testing this out, okay? But let's take a break. So it's 7:40. So let's be back in 15 minutes, which is 7:55. Okay? And then we'll get going with working on what's due next week. See you in 7:55. Hello, I'm back. I forgot to stop the
Hello.
recording during break, which means that everyone watching this recording is going to have to sit through about 10 minutes worth of break, just watching my face there. I'll move it forwards, and then you'll get to this part again. Oops. There we go. Things are falling out. Okay. So, all right. Any questions that might have arisen during break about things you were starting to do or not do? Nope, no questions. All right. So,
Hear you.
what's that? Jeremy?
I can't hear you. I'm not getting any audio.
Oh. Am I low voiced or you can't hear me at all? You can't. What I'm saying? Anyone else? Can you hear me? I haven't changed
I
anything.
can hear you fine. Jeremy, can you hear me? No one? Ah, fun.
Okay, so,
Did you mute something? You can't.
that's right in the chat then. I'm going to the chat to see if I can communicate. I don't know if he's reading. So look at your chat, Jeremy. Okay. All right. Okay, so hopefully everyone did go into the chat and say you were here. Now some people have left and I didn't repeat it, but hopefully you all did. I don't know how to get sound on for Jeremy. Is it just for me when Jeremy speaks that it's very broken up? Is it only for me or do you hear it all broken up when he speaks as well? Yeah, so there's something going on there. Here, let me actually, today, I put it in the, give me a sec. I'm gonna copy in there the student tech support. Oh, it's 8 p.m. They're probably not available. But I'm gonna copy paste anyway into the student tech support for you all to have it. No, Vera is not Zooming. Someone said Vera. Oh, Vera is still Zooming. Yeah, but not sharing. Is that's what you meant? So guys, I just, in the chat, I just put a link. If necessary, copy paste it, put it in some document for yourselves. I have that link many times in the course, but that's basically how to get help, not assignments. That's different. But this is when your sound is off. Like now his video's off, so he's probably working on connections and stuff. But not now because they're done at 4 or 5 p.m. But during the day, anytime that you have a problem that you've been battling with sound, that you have issues with some part of the technology, VDI keeps dropping, stuff like that, check into them, check into that number, into that link, and it's a Zoom connection. And if you can't speak, they'll know that you can't speak, right? And then they can try to help you and see what's happening. They're the people who can help you with that. I do my best based on what I know is happening to support you, but I'm not the one who can really fix your connections, and if it's something to do with Canvas and stuff like that, okay? So, all right, so Jeremy, you said I got it, but do you hear me now? Yes, because you nodded, so yeah, you hear me now. Okay, perfect. But so anyway, do copy that, paste it. I have a notes program in my computer that I just copy paste stuff like that, and then I can just go and pick it up from there, but maybe, put it in a Word document that then you open, now that you're going to begin to use Word. Okay. So I need to have an idea of those of you who are here who is going to be following with my lecture. I have a file that I want you to download, and I want you to do stuff that I'll be doing. So we'll learn how to do stuff with Word. And who is going to just be working on the assignment on their own, but just is hanging out here to listen in. So if you're staying and you're going to be working along with me while I teach you how to use things in Word, then give me a green participants button, check mark, yes. And then if you are just here while you work on your assignments, in case you get stuck and you want help from us, then give me a raised hand. And it's fine to be in either place. I don't get offended. I understand people need one or the other more. And I also know that if you completely didn't need me, you dropped out during break, that's fine. I'm giving you all the option. Okay, so, and Guadalupe, Xochitl, and Cecile, you are working on, just to know, are you working on your textbook project assignment, or are you working on your exam? Either if you didn't complete your Windows exam yet, or if you did, are you working on your computer concepts exam? Just give me a quick answer there.
Textbook.
Cecile, you're going to be on your textbook project, module
Yes.
1. Xochitl?
I'll be on the computer concept, the exam, the training.
Training, okay. And oh, someone else had their hand up and now it's not there. So maybe they changed their mind. Okay, so you two. Now, Xochitl, I think you weren't here at the beginning though. And I was mentioning how when you do the training, since you have to watch the video before you can do the assignment, go to the T, where you play the video, there's a T, which is a transcript. Turn that on and then you'll have the text for that little video there. And you can use that to review because you can't stop or start the video. You kind of have to see it to the end. So that transcript.
I was here. I was listening.
Oh, you were here. Okay, someone else wasn't here and I was saying.
Yeah, thank you.
Guadalupe, you're going to be working on your assignment. Okay, great. And everyone else is going to be wrapped. No, Cecile is going to be working on their assignment, right? Or Guadalupe. No, Cecile, what's your choice? You don't have a choice made.
Oh, I'm going to be working on the assignment, on the textbook.
On the textbook. Okay, that's why it was the hand that was there that went down.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was me. Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's just that then I can give it a grasp of who to. Okay. Now, the rest of you, the ones who are working with me, just to get a bit of a feeling as far as your experience with Word, which is fine if it's 0, to, oh, a lot, I just don't know some stuff. So remind me a little bit more. So let me see, Marcy, what's your background?
I'm so in it. I use it at work, but I'm not competent.
Okay. Belém?
I've used it at work to create documents and labels.
Okay, that's great. Vera? Your sound is off. What's your comfort level with Word? Like, a lot, none,
Medium.
medium-ish, okay. Jeremy? Your comfort level with Word? If you need to write, go ahead and speak. I think I can hear you. No, I can't hear you. Your sound is off. Your sound is off. You need to change either that or just type in the chat. Sarah? Hello, Sarah.
I'm here. It's very minimal, and I was just gonna let you know too that I'll be following along, but I might have to step out at around 8:30. But I'll be sure to watch the sure to watch the presentation that's recorded.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Jeremy, no comfort level with Word. Okay. I think that's everyone, right? Have I called on everyone who's still here? I think so. All right, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys, we're gonna open up a blank document. Don't use the start document that you're working your assignment, okay, for this. I'm not going through the assignment steps. I'm gonna open up a Word document that we're gonna download from the Canvas presentation and play around with that a bit to just begin to see some of the features in Word, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen. And
Sorry, do I use my VDI or my normal Word
do
on my
you have
computer?
Word?
I do have Office 365.
365. I'm wondering about that. Are you on a PC or on a Mac?
I'm on a PC.
Well, go ahead and give it a try in 365. The thing about 365 and Office 2019 is that they are quite similar, but not identical. But I think for most of what I'll show you today, it'll be pretty much identical. I think when you're getting into some deeper features that it's going to be different. So depending on your comfort level, go ahead and use Word and see, in fact, when you see mine open, how different or not, if there's anything different. You can tell me, oh, well, look at this, mine, so you'll be showing me that too in case there is anything different.
Okay.
Go ahead and use Office 365. Everyone else, see, Jeremy, I know you're on VDI. How about Marcy? Are you on VDI or do you have your own? You have your own 2019. And Vera, you have your own 2019. I already saw that. And Sarah? Are you on?
I'm using VDI.
Yeah, you have VDI as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're asking for help on your assignments, for those of you who are working on your assignments, it's also helps us, Katie and I, know when you ask for help, if you tell us from the beginning of the year on VDI or not, whenever we're talking about saving files and all that kind of stuff, because we might give you a very different instruction that might be wrong based on where you're at. So when you're in the program, though, things are the same. It's just when we're talking about file naming and stuff that things change. Okay, so I'm going to share. Here we go. Nope, that's not the screen I wanted to share. I think I'll just use my sample page. Yeah, this one. Okay. So for everyone who's going to follow along today, somewhere on your computer, if you're on VDI, then down here on the bottom left, you'll see the magnifying glass. Go ahead and type the word Word. If you're on your own computer, you might have a link somewhere to it somewhere else. But let's open Word. Actually, stop seeing it. Nope, it's all the same to you, so that's better. I have a better angle on what I'm sharing with you from here. Okay, so I am inside of VMware, so when I need more files, I will be having to go and get them from the Canvas. Sorry, about to sneeze. I even have an air filter, but the air has been really hard for me. I have asthma sometimes, and I haven't had asthma, but I'm feeling the air. We're having the doors closed and everything, but I can feel the difference. Okay, so if I have to sneeze, I'll sneeze, and just cover your ears because it can get loud, I'm sure. I hope not. All right, so here we are in a blank Word file. When you open Word, sometimes you get a choice of what to open. So if you did get that, you might have gotten a file new, and you might have gotten this. For some reason in VDI, when I open Word, it went straight into a blank file. But for the most part, you tend to go into a place like this, which is asking you, what do you want to open? So first of all, I just want you guys to open Word. Does everyone have their Word opened up? Yeah, that's what I want to see. Okay, I need to change how the settings for this word is happening because I stopped. I used to see you, now I'm not seeing you. They can't change it right now that the class is happening, so I'll have to do it later. Okay, so with Word open, over here on the, and when you're in Word, Mac or PC, because some of you guys are Mac people, but then now you're having to work in PC because, you know, the class and the exams and whatnot. But in the rest of your life, you will have your Mac version. So I will be mentioning here and there the differences of the Mac and the PC. And one of the things that's very different is that this big part that we're seeing right now with this blue line here that says Info Cert, all of that does not exist on the Mac. On the Mac, you would just go up to a word up here that says File, Open. And when you say File, New, and when you say File, New, then you would see this portion of the screen, but not this blue thing over there. Okay, that doesn't isn't part of the Mac aspect. But other than that, under the word File, you find exactly the same thing. And if you notice here, this tab is called File. So in the end, it's the same thing, right? It's just that graphically it looks different. So when you say that you want a new document, you get presented with an option of a blank document, or take a tour, which we're not going to do here. You might want to do it on your own, or a whole bunch of templates. Okay, and these templates are great starters for you to do something. But the problem with templates is that if you don't understand much what's happening with words, you can't really change stuff. So say that you like a template here and you open it up, all you can do is replace with your information. But if it doesn't fit exactly what you need, then you're kind of messed up. So we're not going to work with templates. We're going to start understanding all of this from scratch so that we understand formatting at the deeper level, such that when we do need a template or we do have to do something on our own, we can learn how to modify that template. So I want us to start with just a blank document. You might have already clicked on blank document, but if you didn't, then do so. And now we're going to be in blank document. Now I got two, one when I started and one when I was showing it to you. So I want everyone to do that. And I'm going to show you why I want two. So to get two, if you don't have two, up here, see where it says document two. And I'm going to actually give myself my little note taking spotlight. Hold on, there we go. It's uncomfortable, but it shows things better. Okay, so over here, see how it says document two? That's because I have two of them open. To get that second one, if you only have document one, then go back to file.
Sorry, we can see the screen that you're sharing with us, but we can't see whatever you're clicking on.
Huh. That's interesting because I am sharing. These are not pop-ups. I see what you mean. It does seem frozen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop my, you see my mouse now? Yeah, there we go. When I clicked on the annotate, it had frozen the screen, which is an interesting thing for it to happen. But thanks for saying that, by the way. I appreciate when people don't let me ramble on without knowing what I'm talking about. So good. Well, you see my little mouse now moving around with a little spotlight? Yeah. Okay. So what I was saying is that up here, I'm seeing document 2/Word, and that's because I opened two documents. And if you only see the word document, you have one, I want you to open two. So go to File, New, and then click again on blank document. And when you do that, you'll end up with a second one. Now the question is, where are these two documents? You only see one, so where's the second one, right? So let me show you. When I move my mouse down, on the bottom of the document, in the tab here, in the taskbar, okay, this is the Windows taskbar, I can see that I have one document and another document. Now, it's possible that I only see Word with two little tabs of documents since I've created mine. And then this, now they're both empty. Neither has one thing or the other, but this helps me change. I can click on this one and I flip to document 1. See how now it says document 1? I go back down here, and when I see both, I can click on document 2. And now I end up in my document 2, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that one more time. I have only one document here, and if I go to File, hello, File, New, click on blank document, and now I've ended up with 2. Now mine is the 3 because I am on number 3, but you know what I mean. So it can never give you the same name. So now I have 3 different ones. So does everyone have at least 2 documents open? And I want you to stop me and tell me how it's not working. Now, oh, so Cecile's asking Katie for something. Okay, I'll let that be.
Yeah. It's
All right.
not popping up.
Yeah, this is the part that's going to get a little bit confusing. In real life, it's easy for Katie to help people who are moving somewhere ahead or different. But in this case, what Cecile did is a good idea. She just typed it. And so maybe if Katie can type back, and that way they're having a conversation there. Once I start doing stuff, if I don't need Katie, I can also set you guys in a separate room. But
Okay.
But I also want, yeah, I'm not sure that you can do much right now, Katie. Maybe you are better off in a room that when people have questions, I can send you there.
Okay.
I'll see. Well, you see if you can answer her, and if not, interrupt me and let me know, and then I'll send you off. Okay. So, so does everyone have two documents now up? And I'm saying everyone who's following me. And I kind of need you guys to give me a little check mark or a yay so that I can have an idea of how it's going. It's important to know how to navigate amongst multiple documents, and this taskbar is what helps you go from one to the next. Now they're identical now, but go find the one that says document 1, okay? And click on that one. And when you're in document 1, the first one you created, then we're gonna start looking at some other parts of this. First of all, there's tabs up here that if at all you've been using Google Drive, you're accustomed to having some stuff here on the right side, Google Docs, I mean, you have some stuff here on the right side that gives you formatting and whatnot. In Word, all of your features are up here in the ribbon. And each one of these represents a whole new set of tools. So when I click on each one of these tabs, a bunch of different tools pop up. And it's because Word does so much that you can't, you know, put all of the available tools in one same place. And so that's why we do tabs. But the thing is, what you're gonna find as we start putting stuff in here is that there's even more tabs beyond these. When you bring in a picture, there's going to be a new tab that's just called Picture Tools. Or if you bring in a shape, there'll be a new tab called, you know, Design and stuff, Drawings and stuff like that. So these that you're seeing are the basic set of tabs, but there's even more than what you see to start with. But the one we're going to live in is in the Home tab. So go ahead and click on a couple of different tabs to get a feeling about all your tools change. And if you're in any of these tools and suddenly you're going, well, I need to format my text, but you don't see what you need, just know that what you need to do is you need to head back to Home. Home tab is like the one that we're going to spend most of our time in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just write something, anything. So go ahead and write something, whatever comes to mind. And it's okay if you're not a quick speller or if you do a typo. Because if the typo is of a completely impossible to be word, go ahead and make a typo in case you typed something correctly. Then Word is going to be very quick to let you know that you did something wrong. Now, this isn't going to work if what you did was put a T instead of a D after mint. Maybe you put mint instead of mind, then it's not going to show up. So those are like grammar mistakes. But if it's a typo, like over here where I wrote the word comes, then that little red squiggle, that's clearly something that you cannot ignore. People tend to submit papers that have little squiggles, and if it's got a squiggle, it's wrong. So how do I fix that? So everyone type something wrong. Type something that's completely incorrect. And how we fix that is you go back to it, you right click, and you see that at the very top, it gives you some options and choices of what you maybe were trying to say. Most of the times, one of your choices is there. And I actually wanted to say comes, and I click on comes, and then it fixed it for me, okay? So now, notice that if I had said comes to mint, there's no little red squiggle under mint, because that name is correct. So you still have to do your editing and your proofing. You don't have to, assume that Word knows everything. But if it's truly a misspelling, so maybe you said minge, as soon as I hit space again, there we go. Minge is not a possible word, so we need to right click and then click on the possibility. Did that work for everyone? Did you do your little spell check correction? Now this is how you spell check as you go. So if you're writing something and you get a squiggle, just hesitate and right click and fix it. Then there's when you're done with the whole document, you can run a whole spell check on everything, but that's not the one that we're going to be doing right now. Usually it's easier to fix it as you go. So anyway, I'm kind of wrote something that came to mind. And now I'm going to, after you hit go ahead and put in a period at something, and then you must hit one space before you start again. This is important because in the way past, if anyone here is from the way past, when it used to be that the grammar rules to hit 2 spaces to start writing again. Now if you hit 2 spaces and you submit that assignment to Sam, it'll be considered wrong. For many years now, what's the norm is 1 space. So you're gonna go ahead and after you write something, hit the period, hit 1 space bar, and then start writing again. And then hit a period again, and then write something else. And as you can see, I don't really care what you write. We're gonna bring in with more text to do more work. But notice that the cursor is following along from everything that I'm writing. Now, that cursor is very important because it's by moving that cursor that I get to make changes. So say that I actually wanted to write something in between this. What I need to do is move the cursor, and I move the cursor with my mouse by doing a single click. So I'm going to bring my cursor over here, and I'm going to do a single click. And see how my cursor moved over to the S now? I moved my cursor. Now that I moved my cursor, I can now write another sentence. So I'm going to say, I can now write 1 more sentence, period, and don't forget the space. You write as period, you always have to put another little space behind it. So I've gotten to the point where I've written so much that my sentence has wrapped. So wrapped is that thing where, again, I don't know if any of you guys are from the time of typewriters. I don't think anyone here is from the time of typewriters, but you had to like kind of go, you've seen it in movies, you had to go ding and go ka-chunk and move the whole thing down to start writing underneath. Interestingly enough, I was at the library some years ago with my kids, and they were like trying out typewriters. I was like, whoa, Mom, what's this strange thing here? And I'm pretty sure that most of you guys are of the exact same persuasion. You'd be like, I've never used a typewriter. But you used to have to be able to go down. Now, the feature where word goes down for you is called wrapping, and it wraps your words. And it matters because, especially in Excel, you're going to have to understand what the word wrapping means, because in many of our documents, understanding how to wrap text means to have it kind of follow the prescribed endings. And these prescribed endings that we're talking about are this empty spaces right here and right here. These empty spaces are called margins. And this view that I'm using right now is is actually the view that's considered print layout view. It's showing it to me as if this is how it's going to print. Now, you might not be seeing exactly like me, but if you are, it's because you are in print layout view. This space has been preset by the default Word as to have an inch margin on the left, an inch margin on the right, and an inch margin on the top. And that's why I'm seeing it, this text kind of centered. Now, let me show you what this is talking. This is a lot of the stuff that's in that beginning 10 pages before you start the assignment. A lot of the stuff that I'm telling you right now. So watch my mouse down here at the bottom right, and notice that my selection right now, because it's dark versus these two, is this one here, which if I hover over, it says print layout. That print layout is what I'm talking about. It's basically showing it to me as if it's gonna look when I print it. Look at how different it looks if I go to the left over here and I click on read mode. My whole screen has shifted tremendously. Read mode is, I've lost all the tools to do anything. And some people click on that by mistake, and then suddenly they go, whoa, what happened to Word? Everything is gone. And it's, you just clicked on an icon where basically it's for you to be able to read uninterrupted by all of the tools. So to get out of read mode, you click again in the middle one, which is print layout. And that's going to bring you back into the mode where you have all of your tools and you're previewing the page as it's going to be. But there's something else here on the right, which is called web layout. And if you click on that one, then as you can see at this point, the way our document is formatted, the web layout does not have any word wrap. See how it kind of stretched out? And I can spend a lot of the time explaining that, but just watch for a second. If I minimize my window and make it smaller, then my text on its own kind of rewraps. See that? That's web view, and I design web pages, and I can explain the whole reasoning why. But the only thing that matters about this is that if you're going to be using Word to create a web page, you can't create a web page, but you can write the text that's going to go on the web page. The important thing is to not do much formatting, to let it just kind of flow on its own. Anyway, so that's these three views. Let's switch back to print layout. And before I continue, any questions about these different views?
Yeah, wrap text. What if I don't want it to wrap text?
Well, if you don't want it to wrap, then the text would just keep going on and on and on and on and on. So that's just an automatic feature. What you can do is you can change your margins so that it wraps like with longer margins or shorter margins, or have it be in the middle. But no wrap is not possible because text wouldn't like go on and on and on into nothingness. You know what I mean?
No, you'd just be forced to press enter. Sometimes I don't want it to wrap. I'd like to have the sentences not right justified or left justified, or, you know.
Okay, so you actually do want, okay, you're not saying you don't want it to wrap. What you want it is that you want to finish the sentence and where you want it and not where it wants. Okay, so that's a whole different thing, and I'll show you that. Yeah, so right now when you write, it decides where it's gonna go. And the only option you have to say, okay, I'm done, I want to start a new paragraph, is to hit the return or enter key. My cursor jumps down, starts a new paragraph, and then I start writing again, writing again my new paragraph. Okay, so now I know what your question is, and I'm gonna lead to it. But notice that when I hit return, I got a little space there in my new paragraph. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's Word acknowledging that this is a new paragraph. And so instead of just writing straight under that, it left a little bit of space. It's like some preset formatting that Word has so that we can distinguish our different blocks of text. We're gonna have to decide if we want that or not, how much we want that or not, and where we want the paragraphs to end. But right now, the quick answer is that when you want a new paragraph to start and you don't want it to wrap, then you have to insert your mouse and give a return. So say that top thing, it says, I've written so much that my sentence is wrapped. If I don't want that, if I want this to be the beginning of the new paragraph, I want it to finish in sentence, my only solution here is to put my cursor in front of that and to hit return and to start a new paragraph. And then I have, believe it or not, this in front of me now is considered 3 different paragraphs, okay? I'm gonna talk to you about a little bit more about that in a minute with the hidden characters, but right now, I didn't want 3 paragraphs, so I have to undo what I just did. And when you don't like what you did and you want to change it, more than fixing it, the best solution is to actually undo your last action. So if you have ever undone things, it's one of the best inventions is sliced bread, or we'll say that, not that sliced bread is so awesome. But at the very top over here, there's 2 little arrows. And be careful, very careful with not going, for those of you on VDI, even higher, because this is part of the web page that we're in, VDI. So we don't want those. The end of the blue is where Word ends. And these 2 little arrows here are the ones I'm talking about. So I'm going to hit the little backwards arrow, and that's going to undo what I just did. And if I actually want to redo, now this one turned into a redo, and I can click on it. And I can redo and undo. Now, go ahead and hit your, whatever last thing you did, notice that you can undo it. But when I hover over the undo, see how it says undo typing, and then there's a parentheses, and it says Control plus Z, and it closes parentheses. Can you guys see that? It's get kind of tiny, but can you see that?
Yeah, it's undo.
That's telling you what the shortcut is. And I want you to know that the most important thing is to learn how to do shortcuts. Let me interrupt for a second here. Katie, do you think it would be more helpful to help Cecile if I put you in a breakout room for her? I can't.
I'm mostly having a problem that I can't find my chapter in my book. So I'm going on to the online chapter for right now.
Oh, okay.
I got out my book to look at the chapter she's talking about, and I moved chapter 1 out of it. So I get to find that later.
Oh, because you have a binder and you took out the first module.
It's like huge.
Yeah, I know. It is a big.
I'm like, I made it easier, but it's in a safe place that I haven't a clue where it is. So,
So then if you don't
we
have
could
it-
break out into a group, a breakout group, so I could just look at it.
Okay.
Okay, so let me actually, I believe I need to, hold on. Can I do a breakout groups while I'm sharing, or do I need to stop sharing to do breakout groups? Give me a sec here. I'm gonna have to stop sharing for a second to get the breakout group. So give me a second, everyone.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're welcome. Huh. Hello.
Am I supposed to be clicking something now?
I don't see the break. Oh, there we go. Because I was seeing this set. I'm a visitor to the meeting in one of my computers, and I'm the host in the other, and I was in the other one. I couldn't find it. So, okay, so I've assigned. Huh. It's not putting you guys in breakout rooms. Let me try that again.
Okay.
Let's recreate. All rooms will be replaced automatically. Recreate all rooms. Okay. And now I oh, it's such a clunky, it's not a good, anyway, whatever. I'm getting there. And Marcy, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and send you guys in breakout room to Cecile and Katie. And the rest of you guys, if you get an invitation to a room, don't do anything about it. Just
I don't know what happened.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going okay. I don't know what happened. It said that the host had muted everybody. I'm like, okay.
Did they forget about us and leave? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. Did they? They didn't stop, did they? I guess we can just rejoin.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
send
just gonna
a-
rejoin.
yeah,
I'll just rejoin the thing. Okay, see you in there.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't hear audio.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Good.
Thanks. I think when I finished when I left the breakout rooms, it dropped out. Okay. So anyway, I was saying I just changed myself back to normal, not sentence case. There's a couple more things that I want to show you. The important thing is that if you want to make any changes that are using any of these choices here, that would be only a change done one time, and you'd have to select something else and do it again, select something again. Imagine that you have a ton of different pages written, and you want the same choices made to this line as the one that's in line page 10 and the one that's in page 25 and the one that's in page 15. And then you'd have to remember that what you did was you made it bold, and you changed it to 12, and then you made it a color, and you just kind of have all these different changes, and you have to do it again and again and again. Instead of doing that, the thing that really saves a lot of trouble and makes things unified is to use styles. So instead of fonts or paragraphs, the third box in the home box that we have here that really matters is the styles box. So look what happens if I select this. Again, I have my cursor on the top paragraph, and instead of normal, what happens if I just hover over each one of these styles? I'm not even clicking, I'm hovering. And see how my text is changing? It's called live preview. Nothing sticks until I click, and I don't want to click, I'm just hovering. Now, if my window is much wider and I have space, then I see many more. See, I can see a whole bunch of different styles. And each one of these is making my whole text change. This is the style called quote. This one is strong, which is bold. This one's intense, emphasis, subtitles, title, heading 2, heading 1, no space, normal. Notice between no space and normal, see how my paragraphs kind of connected? All right, now I haven't made a choice, but especially if my window is small, I'm gonna make my window small again, where I was only seeing a few styles, then you can click on these arrows over here. The first arrow just kind of scrolls down through other styles. But if I want to see them all at once, I can click on that bottom little arrow and boom, all my preset styles show up. Now styles are very important because instead of from now on changing something 10 times, I can decide, well, I want all this text to be headline, and I say that this is going to be a headline. I select this paragraph, and it becomes heading 1. Oops, I shouldn't click on that. I did that. And I click on make heading 1. Then I click on this next one here, and I want that one, and I select again, and I want that one also to be heading 1. And then I don't have, this took many changes. This, if I click in here to read it, it's changed to 16, and it's changed to blue, and it's gone to Calibrate Light versus this other one here. If I click in here, that was Calibrate Body, 11, and black. So all those changes are now made in one because I use one of the preset styles, okay? So when you have bigger documents, you'll begin to understand the power of styles, but that's how you select them. And we're going to be using a lot of styles, especially next assignment. Not so much in this assignment, but in this assignment, we'll be using some too. Now, styles is this, big presets for all of my text, as opposed to this, which is text effects and typography, which you will be using for this flyer. Now, text effects and typography is here under font, right? So it means that for it to apply, you need to select whatever you want. So go ahead and select one, write one word somewhere. I'm going to go here and I'm going to write one word. The word hello. I'm going to make it much bigger. So I'm going to go to these and I'm going to make it a much bigger so you can see the effects. So I've made a very big hello over here. Right? Oh, hi. Aw, big guy. I don't know if you managed to get a glimpse of my big guy showing in. Thank you. So this word hello, I want to play around with and do much more than just change color and style. I want to do some funky stuff to it. Okay. So to do that, I can use text effects. But first of all, if my mouse is just in the word and I go over here and hover, look at all the funky, fun stuff that's happening to my text. Let me make it even bigger so you guys can see it really well. And to make it even bigger, I'm not going to choose a number like I did before. I'm going to use these arrows, these two A's. This A makes everything bigger, and this one makes everything smaller. So here I had to choose a font size, right? But if I just know I want it bigger and I don't know what font, I just keep clicking on this one, bigger, 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 or smaller, 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 smaller. Okay? So now I just know I want it bigger, so I'm going to go bigger a bunch of times. All right, and now I'm going to show you again the text effects. I hover over these choices, and without having to choose one, I can see all my live preview. Look at that one with a little reflection, how cool it is, right? So let me choose one of these. I'm going to choose this one with a reflection. Once I click on it, there we go. Now I've given that effect to my text. But what if I want that effect, but a little bit different? So I click back in here, and yeah, I liked that one, but what if the shadow is a bit bigger or further away, or I have a glow, or I have a different reflection? So there's so much stuff. What if I want to give it an outline? So I'm going to go to the reflection, for example. Now, right now, I have the reflection that came with my preset, but I could change that reflection to have it be higher or lower or bigger or softer or stuck to me or less stuck to me. So I'm not stuck with just these sets, but these are good beginnings, and then I can make changes down here. So I'm going to go in and change my reflection and give it that choice of reflection, which separates the words. Before I had them stuck to each other. And on top of that, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to give it an outline. So say I want to give a little green outline or orange outline, so it's more visible. I give it in a little orange outline. Okay, so this is a beginning set, and then I go, nah, I don't like any of those. How about I go with, yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. So I've erased all the other choices, but now I go, well, I want a different color. When I can still use color over here, I can still click on this and choose the color of my text from this area. But notice that my shadow is still staying orange because that was the text effect. So I'm gonna give myself the color of yellow. Then I have to go over here for my little shadow, and I'm going to give it another option. So play around with that all you want, but the thing that matters for the textbook is that the way they tell you to do this is they give these things names. So watch, they'll say, select your text and choose, look when I hover over this, it says, gradient fill, blue accent color 5 reflection. Do you read that little tip that's popping up? Or if I hover over this, it'll say fill white, outline orange, accent 2, hard shadow orange, accent 2. You see that? That's what the book is going to say. The book is going to say, or the text, or the exam, it's going to say, the instructions will say, select the word and apply an effect, a text effect of accent 3 format 8. And you'll go over here and you're going like, well, which one is that? So you need to hover over each one and read the tip. Black text, one shadow. No, they didn't ask for that one. Read that tip. Gradient fill, blue accent. Oh yeah, that's the one they wanted. So you'll click on that one. So it's that tooltip that you need to read. And then they'll say, we'll go to the font and choose, you know, green 20%. And you'll have to hover over these guys. And when you stop and wait, a tooltip shows up. Green, accent 6, lighter 60%. Or gold, accent 4, darker 25%. That's how they're gonna mark the information, by hovering and waiting for the tooltip to appear. Is that working for you? Are you testing out that little tooltip thing? And sometimes they'll say the third box and the blue bottom row. And that basically means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 row. So that's another way they'll distinguish it. But if not, they'll use the name of the tooltip. Blue accent 1, lighter 40%. And so that's how you're gonna have to make your choices for colors. Okay. The only other thing I'm going to show you is themes, and then we're done. And you'll understand themes much better once we get to PowerPoint. But just watch this little bit. This document right now, we would think has no theme. It's just whatever's coming up. But really, there is a theme, and it's called the Office theme, because it's the Office way Office shows up. And just pay attention to this. When I go to choose colors, it doesn't really say colors. It says theme colors, which, you know, we've kind of always ignored that word. So whatever, it's just theme colors. But what it means is that the colors that this theme is offering me are these, which is interesting because notice that over here, I don't have any purples or pinks. I don't have any, you know, bright oranges. Well, I have some right here, but it's like, it's a pretty limited color palette, but this is the set of colors that I'm being offered. And am I really restricted to only these colors? Well, I don't know, I'm gonna select this here and I'm gonna give this kind of a little mustardy brown gold accent. That's what I'm gonna do to that. Okay. Now, keep an eye on those colors. And what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna change the entire theme of my entire document. When you change a theme, it's for the entire document, not for one thing. I'm gonna go over to the Design tab. I'm gonna go over to the Themes tab. And now I'm gonna go and choose, for example, and as I hover over these, see how they have names? I'm gonna go ahead and choose a tab called Circuit, a band, and I'm not even clicking on them yet, but look at the hello. Do you see how it's changing? Let me make this a bit bigger. I'm hovering over this as far as theme, and look what's happening to my good old hello over there. It's changing not only color, but it's also changing font style. And I had a font style on one of these that was very different, and it's easier to tell now. Here, look at.
Diana?
Yeah.
I have a question about the assignment. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Can you speak louder?
Can you?
I can hear you a bit louder. Put your mouth nearer to the computer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of steps in here where it's talking about the grammar, and it's supposed to be, I'm supposed to be seeing like a double line under some words and some dotted golden lines, and it's not showing up on what I'm.
Oh, okay. So you're asking about I hadn't heard the first part, which was that you're asking. So I don't know where Katie went. She dropped out, which is a pity. Because I want to, give me a sec. I'll show you grammar in a second. Let me finish this themes conversation. I thought you were asking me about themes. So give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Because the themes is a pretty important thing to understand, which is what's changing here, guys, is that what's the default font and colors is very different. So over here, I'm in this theme called organic. When I go from to office to organic, look how much my document changes from there to there. I'm gonna go ahead and click and select organic now. That doesn't look at all like what I had before. You can't hear me anymore? Yeah, oh no, you can't, that was old. Okay, so if I go back to home and look at the colors I have available to me now, see how my colors have changed? I don't know if you can tell, but I have a different set of colors here available to me. And the font, my basic font that used to say Garamond, was it Colibri Light? Now says Garamond. So the basic set that I start with is different. And if you are in this theme, and for example, someone says, well, I want you to choose the 4th green and the middle down, and you choose that, then you're choosing a bright green, right? Because that's what the 4th color middle down was. But if you're in a theme called Office, which is the original one, then that 4th color middle down is blue. Can you see the difference? So you have to be in the right theme to make the right choices. And at some point, your document is going to ask you to change theme. And then all the colors that were one color will switch to being a different color based on the fact that you changed your theme. There's more background to that, especially in PowerPoint when the theme makes such a big difference. But the example would be, the biggest example I can give you right now is, imagine that you're in the type of business that is all about, you know, it's a spa for women and all the colors have to be, you know, pinkish or stereotypically, you know, bright and pastel or something like that. Well, you might want to go ahead and change your whole document, your PowerPoint, your Excel, your Word to this theme, for example, gallery. And then the choices that you get given for colors are going to be much more pleasing. And all the documents you create are going to work better. But if this is actually supposed to be a legal firm that deals with, I don't know, business contracts, they wouldn't want to have, you know, pinkish colors be their main colors. So they can go and change the theme to a different set of colors that makes more sense, right? To their type of thing. Or if you work with Save the Ocean, then you would want to have a whole bunches of blues and greens in your color settings. And so you make this theme be your theme, okay? So anyway, that's the main explanation of theme. But once you change theme, your whole document changes. Everything changes. And so be very careful, because a theme change has to be done either at the very beginning or at the end, or your whole document looks like it's a different document, okay? All right, so go play around with themes a little bit. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and answer Guadalupe's question. And think if there's any other question that you might want to ask based on things I've said or things that you've had happen to you in the past. Go ahead and ask me.
Nope. Good night.
Good night, guys. So Guadalupe, I'm ready to answer your question. Can you repeat again what point you were asking?
Yeah, well, I'm just working through the assignment, and I was supposed to see like
Tell me what page and what point you're in.
I'm on 118, 117, 118. And it was under number 3.
117.3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so you should be seeing a grammar correction. So in my example, I got a grammar correction. It's like, look at my screen right now before I stop sharing. And I made 2 spaces in between can and now. And so the double line there that shows up, that's considered a grammar correction. Okay. This here is a typo, squiggly red. But this here was a grammar correction, and it showed it to me once, but once I moved on, it figures, oh, I didn't want to correct it. So see how it's gone now? So here I made a grammar mistake, and then when I walk away and I click away to move on to something else, now that's grammar mistake, that is typo. You're saying that you don't see that little double-headed
Yeah.
line of what you're not seeing?
When I was typing, I didn't get the double blue lines or the dotted golden lines, but I went back and I put an E, and now it's giving it to me. I was just wondering if there was like a setting off or something on my end.
Well, it's just that the word for and the word for E, both are correct words. They mean two different things, right? So so let me write over here, the word for, right there, nothing shows up as wrong. If I type in the word for with E, in this context, it gets underlined because it doesn't make sense. The word for made sense there, but the word for E doesn't make sense. So it gets highlighted as a grammar mistake because it's not a typo per se. Typos mean that something's misspelled. And what if I was trying to write the word for with an E? So it just points it out, and you can ignore it or not. That's why when you put the E, it did show up again, right? And the idea here, they're trying to get you to learn how to see it and to get rid of it. I don't see, which is the point that's asking for the orange dots?
The golden dot, I think it's number 5.
Let me see. Right click the text flag with a gold dot underlined, of or off or of, to display a shortcut menu, % suggested word. So I don't see which text. Okay, rinse, soap, off.
Yeah.
Off of hands, there we go. Okay. It's telling you that maybe there's a better word choice you could have made. Necessarily horrible, but it thinks that maybe you could have done something better. So that my sentence, let me see if I can give that.
Yeah, I know what they are based on I wasn't seeing them on my document, and that's why I was.
So they weren't happening for you?
Yeah, they weren't populated.
At some point, you can turn those choices on or off in the preferences. Are you working in the 365?
I'm working in the virtual. Yeah.
In the VDI.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the spell check is on automatically and the grammar is on automatically, but the word usage suggestion you might need to turn on. And over here, they're not having you turn it on, but you can make those choices. Let me see, if you go up to review, let me, see where it lets you turn that on. Because maybe you don't have the grammar turned on.
Yeah, you know what I followed also? If you look at page 16, the Q&A in the middle of the page, I followed that. And all of the radio boxes were turned on and off, whatever was supposed to be on. So I don't know, maybe it's just.
Well, as long as you correct it, that's good. But the fact that it's not turning on for you at all, I don't have that assignment in front of me to test it, but I see that you did read the Q&A. That's good, and you did check on your options and everything was on. Mark grammar errors as you type, check spelling. It used to be that you could check them from here too, but okay, so then they make you go into the backspace. Okay, so if you tried everything and it's not showing up, then the important thing is
Just to basically have it right at the end.
it doesn't matter. They just want it to be right. If it's not turning on, then there's nothing to fix.
Okay. I was just not sure how this is
If
graded.
it does turn on and you don't fix it and it stays on, then that's a problem. But it's good for you now. You know how to make it check. But I think that would show all of them. Grammar, maybe grammar and refinements in order to have more in depth. Yeah, it seems like, but because I didn't know what the VDI settings were, but if you're on VDI, I'm on VDI too. It should be the same. So mark, show readability statistics, not statistics. I don't really want readability statistics, but writing style. Let me try grammar and refinements. Say okay to that, and then try that and see if that brings it up. It's just that I don't have your same sentence that would make sense to me. All right, well, as long as it doesn't not show up, then you should be fine.
Okay. Okay, that was just my question.
Did it and it flags it as a problem, then we should check and see what's wrong, but I think it should be fine.
Okay. All right.
All
Well,
right,
thank you for your help.
no, you're welcome. Take
Okay.
care.
You too. Have a good night.
You too, bye.
Bye.